I can't hear you just yet.
That's because I was muted.
What happened? So I saw you joined. Hi, hi, hi. I saw you joined, but I couldn't see you or you're
Um, I didn't see anybody there, so I went back out again.
okay. Lee is stuck outside. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
Nice to see you.
You too. It's always nice to see you.
What are you thinking for that house? You're in?
I mean, I'm in if we can get it.
Yeah. If we can get it at what price?
If we can get it at it, I think even over 200, there's still a lot of room for making money on it.
How
Um,
much?
let's see. If we bought it for 205 and we put 90 into it, we'd be at 295. I think it would sell for between 370 and 390. It could even go higher, simply just because of the town we're in.
Is there a way to keep it for you? I'm not a fan of selling stuff.
I'm not either, but
Yeah,
I've got some things I'm trying to pay for.
I got
Um,
you.
I I ideally would like to buy and hold, but I need to, I told you about stuff. I like
Yeah,
to get that taken care of.
yeah. Okay. Where are you in the process of taking care of that stuff?
I mean, things haven't worked out wonderful with this stuff so far, so I think, going forward, I think doing this type of stuff is a much better plan.
Okay. I like it. I adore you.
I know, I
Um,
appreciate that.
yeah. Because I was like, I'm fucking in. Whatever he wants to do, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, who the hell is this guy? I've never heard you talk about him, or well, you never asked about him.
I think this is what I originally joined Sub 2 for, right?
Yeah,
So this is where I should be.
yeah.
Hey, Lee.
So do you know what's going on with Lee?
I've seen some of his posts, but I don't know, what's going on outside of that. Yeah.
What post did you see?
Well, I saw him with a girlfriend or fiance or something.
Yes, yes. He's so mature now. I gotta address him, Mr. Anna. That's his new name.
Uh,
Um, and then also recently, I know Lee. Did you go and come back yet, or
Or
when
you
is when
said,
is your you did?
whoa, 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 you just texted me to leave and come back.
Yeah, yeah, you're good. You're good. You're in. I don't know
Okay.
what happened, but like Scott had trouble getting in tonight. I saw you joined. I get like a notification if people like join or something. Like if
Hmm.
you join early and you're the first person, I'll get a notification being like, Lee's waiting for you. And that's when I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I did join and then I didn't actually intend to join, it just joined for me because I was in
mhm,
a Zoom like right before this, so I just clicked the new link and it auto joined. Um,
serendipity. Good. Good. Did you say you just got back from Hermosi?
yeah.
oh
Nice.
wow.
Good. Fresh out the
Uh,
gate. Nice style.
yeah. Incredible. That team is
Good.
ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous.
Good.
I had to be the least successful person there by far.
That's a good
Um,
thing.
yeah, fantastic. Um, yeah, there was multiple guys doing 17 million a year in their business. Just like completely different problems. They try and put you basically into small groups with people within your bracket, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
like ze 0 to 1 million or 1 to 3 million
Mm-hmm.
um, is basically like 0 to 1 million is either you are not good enough. So like I'm trying to relate this to real estate people because it's not like different than like running a business. Um, but either you don't have a good enough product or like an offer, or you don't have essentially the skills. That's what I would equate it to in real estate. It's
You
like
don't
you
have
do
the
not have
skills to communicate your value to earn the money that you should be
no,
earning.
not even about communicating your value. You literally do not have enough skills. Like you are not good enough at anything in order to accomplish it. Like you need to be better and learn more things.
Oh, I like that.
And I think that's like a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow because they're like, why can't I get there? It's like you're not good at anything. Um,
Mm,
and so most of the people there have gotten past the good enough,
Mm-hmm.
and have some legitimate skills and value to offer. And
Yeah.
so the lowest threshold there was the 1 million to 3 million stage. And 1 million to 3 million, everyone gets distracted. They get good enough at something, they have some sort of a skill set, and then they hit this glass wall of like, oh, now I need to do different things because the game changes. And they think because the game changes and they stop seeing the success that got them to where they were to hit a million or 2 million or whatever, that they need to do something different. And so they change their plan, or they
Mm,
open a new business, or they start a side venture, and then they go back through. And so they'll hit that same threshold at a faster pace, and they're like, oh, this is a good decision. Smart that I did this. But then same cap. You hit the same threshold, you run into the same categorical problems, and you don't know how to graduate from that stage. And then essentially anything past the 3 to 5 million point and beyond
mm-hmm.
is who's on your team. How good are your systems? How good is your process? How strong and potent is your culture? And A players and how hard they are to come by. And you essentially, once you get to the tippity tippity top, the way that the acquisition team is, they are poaching top tier talent from other top tier companies.
Right.
And so
Right.
they're like, hey, you're doing that over there. How about you come over here and I'll pay you more money to do it here? And so like every single person on their team was either super early on in the acquisition, like gym launch days, with Alex and Layla,
Yeah.
or was working for some other company, Goldman Sachs, venture capital, on Wall Street doing big things. Several of them had started and exited marketing agencies, SaaS companies for multi-million figures in their 20s, and then they're like coming over. So their team is young as fuck. Like I thought
Yeah.
I was gonna go there as like the young buck. Their sales manager is 23.
So I
Insane.
yes. Yeah.
Insane. Like
So
uh,
I don't think you're coming tomorrow, right?
I am.
Are you really? Thank you for
I want to
making the
do
trip.
my best to, yeah.
Okay. Scott Falvey, where are you in the world?
I'm right here.
In Maryland or in New Hampshire?
Today I am in New Hampshire. Actually, I will be here this week, next week, and the week after.
Perfect. So do you know I'm having an event tomorrow?
Yes,
Good. That's
but
all.
I
That's all I care is that you know about it. You make the choice that's right for you. No peer pressure, but also you're dead to me if you don't come. So there's that.
well, if you remember, my wife's going through something tomorrow, so
I know. I know. But the reason why I bring that up too is one, to remind everybody, and then two, she's 22 years old. This girl, she was wholesaling deals in her college dorm. She has 35 million deployed. Are you familiar with Alexis?
I've done a deal with her.
Have you? What did you do?
I did a fractional deal with her for rehab.
What deal?
Fractional.
Fractional. Is that like the Peach Wave, something like Peach State Capital or the Wave Fund?
Well, no, fractional is um, an organization that raises capital in a way that you can have multiple partners at low levels in an LLC versus doing, like an SEC type of, um,
Yeah, Raise.
yeah.
Love it. Anyway, that is the next generation. Actually, Lee, you scare me too when you arrived on the scene. And then there's also Kevin Kozak as well. I think he's like 20, who knows, 20 something. That's young enough for me. But like a Marine, he is dominating the Ohio market. Like you guys are insane. I don't know. You have like 10 years, 16 years on me. And I just don't know. I can't imagine the things that you'll accomplish knowing what you know. Yeah. And this is the next generation. Not only are you guys younger, faster, smarter, more agile, iPad kids, right? But then on top of it, like with the internet and the stuff that you have access to, and then AI pretty much doing everything for you, like it's going to be disruptive. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be scary for old farties like me, but I'm excited. And
I know
I
you're not, Suzanne.
thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Bring me back down to earth. But are you familiar with Alex Hormozy yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
I know him. I know of him. I haven't done anything, with him or anything.
Yeah,
It's
he's pretty
sad that I didn't get to
impressive.
take a photo.
Huh? You didn't get to take a photo?
Oh no. Dude's
You
got too
gotta
much going on.
you gotta ask Chat Daddy to make one for you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But super cool. Like it's you had all these people that came in there and I think that they all realized like operating at his level, all of their problems are so small. Like
Yeah.
he's already done it before that most of these guys they'll preemptively tell you in conversation when you're doing the small groups like, "Hey, I hope that you don't think that I'm coming across as rude. I'm probably going to cut you off a lot because I know what you're going to say. I've been there." Like
Yeah.
we've already been there, we've done that. Like we only have 30 minutes. Like let's get through this. Let's figure out
Right.
what your constraint is and solve it. Um,
Right.
so yeah, they talked about a lot about the. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about the theory of constraints.
No,
Just
go for it. What is it?
essentially that any business can only grow up to its lowest constraint and
Mm.
then no further. And essentially that any business at one time can only be either supply or demand constrained. And supply or demand constrained, if you're supply constrained, it's like kind of um, inverse intuition from the way that I
Mhm.
was thinking of it originally. But like supply constrained means that you have too much supply. Like you cannot deal with the business that you have. And demand constrained means that you are not at capacity, like you are operating below your efficient capabilities based on the resources that you have. Like your crews are not uh, fully scheduled, et cetera, et cetera. And so basically that then breaks down, and then you keep breaking that down until you figure out what your main constraint is, and then you deploy every last one of your resources of time and energy and dollar bills, into
Mhm.
solving that constraint
Mm.
and nothing else.
This was 2 days, 3 days you spent
Two
together?
days. Two
Two
days.
days.
Mhm. Yeah.
Apart from that, what were your other takeaways?
To go along with that, to make that point, they said that there are house fires and dumpster fires, and you let dumpster fires burn and you take care of the house fires.
Hmm.
Um, Key takeaways that it depends on your vision and what you're trying to accomplish.
Hmm.
They put into perspective the true rarity of what it is that what entrepreneurs realistically make up, like the percentages of a percentage of a percent that what one even are in business, are investing, and then the ones that give up and quit um and actually see it through, and then the ones that make something extraordinary like the crazy ridiculous companies, like there's only 7 of them that exist out of 30 something million. So
Mm.
that kind of shows you just how small that percentage is. And a lot of people have these big dreams, but you know also understanding the reality of what comes with that if you want to accomplish it, the time and energy and sacrifice in order to make that happen. And then having absolute clarity on going after the very specific thing, and how easy it is to get distracted. Um, a lot of people with a lot of different businesses and like, should I go this way? Should I go this way? And when you want to do something truly incredible and truly remarkable, something that's actually extraordinary and making an impact, how few of those things that any person can reasonably do in their lifetime. And so realistically, like you might only get to do one or two. And so you have to do those one or two things and don't do anything else. Like let everything else go, let every other dream die. And he used an analogy that was a little bit brutal, but he said it's kind of like shooting a kid in the head. Like a lot of kids like you start these businesses or you start these ventures or you have these dreams, and it's like you
Yeah.
birthed it, you created it, like this is your child,
Yeah.
but it's like you gotta shoot one in the head. You gotta let one live. You gotta make that sacrifice. Um, so I think that I got a good amount of clarity in that.
Good.
And I'm kind of making some directional changes in my life as well. So
So explain that a little bit because that's my next question is now that you're back, right? So I hear you when you say like, entrepreneurs are crazy. I don't even know why they bother trying. Here are the stats. The stats are nobody makes it essentially, right? Like they're so small. And so anytime I hear those things, I'm like, God, that's depressing. Like, why do we even do this? But I also know that I'm too stubborn to do anything else but this.
yeah,
But
that's the love of the game.
I can tell that you got a smile on your face as you say that, which tells me that you got what you needed to get because now you're headed in a certain direction now that you're back home. So now that
Mhm.
you're back home, what are you going to do? Where's the energy going to be put?
The energy is put into my own venture. I have to go to my own.
What
Um,
is that? Explain.
so I I essentially the last year, I spent individual investments in the stock market, and with that kind of like got a little bit of traction in people that I knew with investing and had people be like, "Oh, can you invest my money for me?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, should I start like a fund and be like a brokerage or something?" And then some things you need licenses for. So barriers to entry, didn't want to go to school. Then you look at real estate and got into the duplex. Then I'm like, okay, get into these investments. And then it's like, okay, what does that logistically look like? And then, okay, what are my business options? Am I going to be a wholesaler? Am I going to be a house flipper again? Am I going to be a this or that? Um, and then I looked at the one scalability of those things, realistic return. You had pushed me towards going towards the family business, getting into the cabinets, wholesaling, like, and then it's just like option after option. Try this thing, try this thing, try this thing, try this thing. The cabinets thing, margin's not there. Realistically, competition is way too high. I don't have the resources or the capital to position myself in the market to make the kind of money that I would want to do, to have the competitive edge to make it worth my while. So go into the family business. And that I could see basically by doing a deep dive into the business to see how I could leverage that relationship, was then able to see that, okay, there's an opportunity here. Then I took the family business just by de-dinosaurizing it and operationalizing, systemizing, bringing it a little bit up to the 21st century, was able to near double revenue from roughly 750 to on track for, we did $780,000 in revenue in all of 2024. We've done 765 in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
so basically in the last 12 months span that I've been there, we've done roughly 1.5 million in sales, basically doubling revenue year over year, which pretty good on a scorecard, like looks good. And then me realizing what it is that I enjoy doing within the business. Not super handy. I've installed a few kitchens in my day, not what I want to be doing. And also understanding if I do want to get to the money that I want to make, like I actually care about having fuck you money. Not everybody
Mhm.
does, but I would like to get there at some point in my life. And in order to do that, I have to have all of the things in my favor. I have to have a large enough market that's a growing market. I have to have a really great offer. I have to have a clientele with deep pockets. I have to have, um, relationships and skill sets and opportunity for scale. And so trying to then see, okay, this thing is still too small. This thing is still too small. This thing is still, unfortunately, too small. Um, and then I also was able to meet a couple folks there. One guy, his Instagram is the Remodel Commander. So he basically buys boomer businesses in the trades. He's scales GCs essentially. He buys boomer businesses, scales them. He has a lifetime average of 5xing profit, so 500%. Pretty good. He's
Mhm.
done that 36 times, and he still feels like he doesn't have the track record to be able to hang his hat and say, you guys can trust me. And so, eventually, I would like to get into the educational space. I would like to be in sort of the consultancy side for um, people in the trades businesses. I like
Mhm.
the process of business. I like talking about business. I think that the only thing that has kept me from that was me thinking I'm too young for anybody to listen to me, and the fear of being on camera and making content. And those two things I think have been limiting beliefs that have significantly held me back uh,
Yep.
from pursuing that. And so instead of pursuing that, I've found every other possible business venture that I could do reasonably. So now I'm kind of in a phase of two things. Like ultimately, I want to be more on the like I guess business consultant influencer, be a voice in the space, be able to help other people scale and grow, um, be able to operationalize, systemize businesses, focus on being that strategic partner in a company and helping it grow at certain stages. Basically, from like not the people from 0 to 1 million because they don't have the money to be able to pay me. Like realistically, my family business could not pay me for what I did for their company. Not what I
Mm.
would like to have get compensated at least.
Not fuck you salary. Yeah.
Exactly. Not even close. And so I would need to do people who have the ability to pay me good money for my services and lots of them. And so I can't do a locally constrained market. I would like to stay local though. So um, my idea here is to kind of pair three things that are all working in tandem with one another. So doing the consultancy and building up a track record, like actually documenting what it is that I'm doing, creating content about what it is that I'm doing day to day or have done, and what have been the results of those actions and things that
I
we're
think
doing.
have done is really important. So I love the fact that you're having this transition, right? Because you went all in on family, right? Technically, right now you're in an all in on you, right? So you got the fiance thing down. This would be a huge change, but I love that. I love that this is the direction that you're going in. It is a wake up call. You're young enough, you're agile enough, you'll bounce, you'll be fine no matter what. And you should get your ass kicked a little bit. It'll only make you better. So don't be scared of it. What I would tell you is, I definitely think that whatever you did already for your family business, you need to document that because technically that's the beginning of your journey because that is your proof of concept. You did it for people that you loved, and this is what you did. I'm a huge believer in documenting things because I'm getting old, Scott, and I need fucking reference. It's like my own shit. I need, like, who am I? I'm like 51st dates over here. It's getting a little bad.
You're getting
Anyway,
older. You're not getting old.
tell that to my brain. Anyway, we'll
I'm
get there.
trying to.
It's been a minute that you and I have chatted, and you'll see. Talk to me for a minute. I'll be like, what am I talking about? I don't even remember my name. Definitely document stuff. I'm happy that you're going to be there tomorrow with Alexis. I would love for you, and by love for you, I mean you're going to do it, or else I'm gonna hurt you physically. I want you to ask her tomorrow because she is such a young person. And because I know that feeling of being an imposter, right? Like as a woman, as somebody younger, as like I'm passing white. I'm half white some days, and then I'm Asian the other days. But like, what do you do when you feel like you're an imposter? I know you have the limiting beliefs. A lot of people have it, but I think when you're young, I almost think that, like, at least for me, because I'm Korean and we were always taught to, like, don't talk back, listen to your elders, don't speak up, don't challenge anything. It's really hard to overcome that. So I would love for you to ask her tomorrow that as a young person, how does she command respect in a space, where people don't want to give it to her? But I also think it's going to come back a little bit to the Hormozy quote, which is you have a undeniable stack of accomplishments because once you have that, nobody can talk bad to you. Kind of
Mhm.
like the rehab guy, right? Rehab commander. He has 36 transformations underneath his belt. If
Yeah.
he really wants to go there, he could do 36 times 5, which is what, 180. I have 180x. I multiplied 180x, revenue over the course of 36 different projects, blah, blah, blah. It's
Mhm.
all how you count it. But even him, I'm sure internally he has some sort of limiting beliefs. But
Yeah.
I'm excited you're coming tomorrow. Are you bringing any friends tomorrow?
No, Anna's gonna be working unfortunately, so it'll
Okay.
be me. But yeah, I think I also needed like I do recognize that. I think I needed to get the proof stack
Yeah.
and I think part of the problem is I wasn't getting enough of a proof stack fast enough for my own liking. And some of that is just where you go, like your resume. If I want to build a resume, I need to go to places where having worked and having those results sound better.
Yeah.
And part of that is being on bigger teams or with more people. And so I think that was a really difficult thing for me because it's my family. But I had to tell them, like, I have these crazy big dreams of what I would like to do and accomplish. And the chances of me getting to where I want to be in life are very much stacked against me, highly improbable. Um, it's like less than 1 in a million. So for me to get there, I have to do some outlandish things, and I
Hmm.
can't, uh, you know, be a homebody forever. I
Yeah.
gotta fly away from the nest.
I
So,
like it. I love the fact that, like, so Stratton's on this call. He's going to talk to us a little bit about what he wants to do going forward. Right now, he leads Lakes and Peaks, which is a meetup, and he wants to pivot or move in a little bit of a different direction. But Stratton, Veader just got back from doing like a 2-day boot camp with Alex Hormozy. How many people were in there with you, Veader?
I think it's like 70.
That's amazing. How many women? I have to ask this question.
Um, say probably like 20 or 30% were women.
Really? Okay, fair.
It wasn't like nobody, but definitely a
Yeah,
lot more men.
yeah, of course. He That's his demographic,
Yeah.
testosterone and lifting weights. But the reason why I bring that up is because Stratton is on a little bit of a journey. Stratton, I feel you too, because at the beginning of this year, I ended up losing a relationship that I put like a year's worth into. So I had the drama with Z, and I felt like I lost not only Z but my other best friend at the same time. And so I lost the men in my life. And then I was like, fuck, man, I'm going to go all in on women. I'm going to be a lesbian commander, and I'm just going to like, we're going to scissor each other's minds, and it's going to be amazing. And then I did that. And then it crashed and burned. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me that I'm outgrowing people? What's wrong with me that like I want to have relationships? I want to have great relationships, but I don't seem to be doing it right. And so what I kind of learned, Stratton, and this is when I started like coming to visit you and like getting out there, you can't be a homebody, Veader. You can't listen. I'm not going to meet people sitting on my couch with my dog, right? Like you have to go out there. So one of the reasons why I created Elite or relaunched it, when I finished the Andover House, Mark used to have a meetup that he used to run for White Acres. It was called like what was it? North Shore, Southern Massachusetts, like real estate people. That's it. It's a very plain name, right? Black Hill, it's like real estate. We love real estate 101. Anyway, he had great people in there. It kind of reminds me of like the bigger pocket community, like high earning W-2 people that want to get in real estate but don't actually know how to cut their teeth on it. So he had that. We ended up doing a joint meetup together. And then from that, I relaunched these weekly meetings that I used to do back in the day for Sub 2 New England because there's accountability in it. Essentially, what we do is, guys, we get together once a week and you tell me what you did and what you learned to help us. And then going forward, you simply say what you're planning on doing this next week. And it's not because we're going to hold you accountable, but the fact that you said it out loud. This is recorded. I do put this on YouTube, and there's a track record of it because, again, I'm old and I have to document at this point. Now you're liable to that, right? Because it would really suck for you to say one thing one week and the next week be like, I violated my own self and didn't do shit for my own self, and I have nobody to blame, and the biggest person I hurt was myself. So anyway, I started doing these meetings for that. And then what else did I do? Oh, and then going to other people's meetups. And I've been having the time of my life going and like rubbing shoulders. In the past, obviously, I had my quarterlies, and I thought like, I'm a little bit of an introvert, and I'm like, I don't really know how I translate it to other people. I know how I feel with sub 2 people. And for the longest time, I kept it very like incestuous, and I wouldn't let anybody, no outsiders in. It was only us. But now I've been partying with other people, and I've been having the time of my life. So Stratton was one meetup that I went to. I met a lot of good people, a lot of in-depth conversations. But I would love for you, Stratton, to kind of do the same thing I'm doing, because that's the best advice I have to offer as to how to meet people. And then again, like within your network. So like Lee went out and hung out with Hermosi and team, 70 people in that group, got FaceTime with it. They also love Lee being able to help somebody. Like that's one of the favorite things to do is like after somebody's accomplished something, you're like, I want to give it away. I don't want to just have this for me. It feels wasteful to like throw it away and move on to the next thing. I feel good looking like hot shit. I want to be able to help somebody. And so, kind of like sitting in that mentee role, you're going to get lots of attention. You're going to get lots of great relationships from that. And if there's any that you want to send to Stratton's way, I'm sure he would appreciate it. But Stratton, tell him what you want.
What do I want? It's a loaded question. I think right now where I'm at, I guess, is wanting to come to a place where I'm in an audience of people that are on a higher level, I guess you could say. And I don't know what that how to speak about that level. It's kind of like, you know, you have a great time out on the lake, and I'm just saying that because I live out here on the Lake Winnipesaukee. You have a great time on the lake on a boat, and you try to describe to somebody what that experience was like, and you can't quite put it into words, but it was like so uplifting. That's what I'm like really seeking and like searching for right now in a real estate community, and you know, among you guys and other people that we haven't come into contact with, and I think what I have kind of put together over the last 5 years of me being in real estate is that there's people that that can see. I'm even having hard time putting into words now. You have people that you come into contact with that you either like kind of just connect with. It's kind of like, I don't know, dating, I guess, right? Like you have some people that you just run into when back in the day when I was dating, that you kind of run into and you're like, wow, that was a really cool person that I just met. You know what I mean? That was like that person's soul and that person's spirit was like at a super high level, something that I'd never experienced before. And um and then you've gone on other dates. I'm sure everybody's been here. Sorry, there's a lot of mosquitoes out here. Where you're just like, yeah, that was really just kind of a shallow date. You know what I mean? That was just kind of like bare minimum. And that person was really kind of just into themselves. And that person wasn't really into trying to connect with somebody else and really build a greater connection, I guess, is the best way to put it. And that's kind of where I'm at in real estate right now. That's like my relationship in real estate is just like where I'm at is like really building really solid connections within the community. And what I want to do is I don't really know what I want to do other than, I'm throwing around the idea of putting on like a special Zoom, kind of talking about, things that everybody's talking about right now is like the real estate market in New Hampshire and Maine and in Massachusetts and how it's changed over the last couple of years. And, but really, just trying to, use that, I guess that kind of that venue for really trying to connect with people that are like, hey, I know what's going on. I see what's going on. I'm not ignorant to it. And I'm open to wanting to do bigger and better things and learning how to adapt and connect with other people so that we can all benefit as a community together. And so like I know out here in New Hampshire, well, New Hampshire and Maine is our primary targets, our areas that we target. And just so many people, there's so much like limiting beliefs and a lot of like flippers that are just like, oh, I don't know if I can freaking do this, and the days on market are higher, and the margins need to be bigger, and I think I'm just gonna pull out of doing flips right now, and I'm gonna go get into another career, and this and that, and I just hear all this like fear-based type of stuff where I'm like, really, I think the answer is not abandoning like what you want to do, but really like connect more, like more of like the answer is connecting more with people, and seeing and finding answers and finding solutions to the fears that you have. You know what I mean? I guess if that makes any sense. Like that's kind of the trajectory that I'm on right now is just like I'm a kind of a person for those that know me like where the market might change and what that does is that like actually stimulates me like that. Oh, sorry. My dog's going off. Probably at a bear, actually. We get bears here at this time, like every night. Hold on.
Yeah, you got to pivot though, right? Talking to people about potentially pivoting, how they're pivoting, they're seeing.
Speaking of Hormozy, he has a pretty good quote related to that. I think I'm paraphrasing, I don't know it exactly, but he says something.
Pivoting. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, no, go on.
I think his Wi-Fi is connecting. That's usually what happens to me is my cellular to that. Yeah. What's the quote? I want to hear it.
He says that most people think that in regard to people like trying to reach their dreams, it's not so much that
Can you guys?
people
No.
don't know how to reach their dreams, but that they see the price tag and they decide it's too expensive. And what he means by that, and I think what kind of what I'm gathering from what Jonathan is saying is a lot of people, when they get into these situations or these difficulties in relation to business, they say, okay, well, I wanted to make the money, but I don't want to have to do this to get it. And that's why so many people give up, is like they get into it initially because they have the ambition, but they don't have the uh, persistence, the
I'm gonna sound like an asshole here right now, and I hate and fuck it, I'll do it. I feel like I've met a lot of people over the years, not that many, but I feel like I've met a lot. And there's a point where you can see someone's potential and you can champion them, you can root for them. But I also learned that nobody is gonna fucking do the work but the person themselves. And I kind of got to a point where I'm like, listen, this whole entrepreneur shit, you have to be a little batshit crazy because you're getting your ass handed to you time and time and time again. Things that I thought, like even the Z thing at one point, I thought was going to destroy me. I thought I was going to walk away from real estate altogether. And I kind of feel like when you meet people like Stratton, I feel like you're meeting buyers, right? That might have some fearful things. There's two parts, right? They might just be venting, right? They might just be like, giving whatever verbally vomit and being like, Stratton, give me a better number. I want a better number. They might actually be saying, I am actually afraid of the market. And the third part might be, I'm afraid of the market and I'm going to behave like I'm afraid of the market, which means I'm going to get out. So I hear you across three boards, right? And then at the end of the day, I'll also tell you this. I feel like if you don't make it as an entrepreneur, if you get hit and you want to stay down, my answer is stay the fuck down. That's how I feel. If you want to stay down, stay down.
100%.
This is not your lane, and recognize that faster so that you can get in the lane that you're supposed to be in. Because I think a lot of people get in here and they're like, I don't know what to do. I want to do this. I don't know what to do. And it's like, no, you're getting feedback. Everything that you do gives you feedback to then help you make a better choice going forward. And I think two things end up happening. People either don't realize that it's feedback, don't realize they get an opportunity to make a different change forward, and they think they got to stay on that same path. And then the other thing that I was thinking of, the number two part, Scott, I totally forgot. I'm telling you, I'm aging over here rapidly, immediately.
I think it's the same problem that I was running into with dealing with my family business is that like you want to be able to form this community and you're doing it from a place of care, like in your heart, you want to be able to help other people and make money together, and you have all these altruistic reasons as to why you want to make that happen.
Right.
And really, the inverse is true, where the further you go upstream and the more successful you get and the bigger you dream, the fewer people are going to actually be there with you. And so I think that um, if I can be blunt, I think that if you're in that position of trying to level yourself up, you're not going to find more people like that. You're going to find far fewer. And being okay with that is something that I'm been working on a lot recently, because I think that I had this same mentality. Is like, why don't you guys want to do this? Like, guys, if we do this, we can get here. And a lot of people just literally are not willing to make that trade.
Hmm.
And I think that until I am willing to let that go and accept that, I'm
You
going
should
to
you
just,
should
they're
do
just
it.
going to be a dead weight.
You should do it fast. So I have a theory. I call it my fishbowl theory. And essentially, what it says is if you are a little goldfish in your little round fishbowl and you're happy there, let those people be happy there. A goldfish is not going to make it in the deep open water. And I really feel like as entrepreneurs, that's where we fucking are. It's the deep open water. There's bad things that can happen left, right, and center. There's also amazing things that these goldfish can never see. But my feeling is if somebody is happy, let them be happy where they are. Like that, this is just my philosophy on people in general. Whatever somebody wants, right? It's their idea of what their happiness is. Your job as a friend, as a whatever, is to support them in getting the thing that they want. You can give them feedback. You can be a sounding board for them. You can encourage them. You can give them your ideas. But at the end of the day, whatever it is that they choose, they will be happiest when they get the thing that they want, not when they get the thing that you think is best for them and is going to be great for them. So again, I have this thing, I call it my fishbowl theory, which is if they're happy, let them be happy. But I think that the answer has to be on you, that you have to understand who you're dealing with, who you're working with, understand who you are, what you want, have that self-awareness, understand the people that are in front of you. And if they don't want to be pushed, don't push them, right? You can always invite them. You can always pull them into your deep ocean, open water. But if they're happy in their fishbowl, let them be happy in their fishbowl. That's my feeling. We lost Stratton again. And now we have Cat Anus on the camera. Thanks a lot, Mark.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that like big key takeaways for, everybody had their own businesses doing such vastly different things. Like one of the dudes I met, you'll like this actually. His um Asian dude comes from an Asian family, of course. Um,
Or adopted. Not of course, or adopted.
or adopted. Korean
Yes, love.
family owns a mushroom farm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so he wholesales mushrooms to high-end restaurants.
Love it. Love it.
Wow.
Over $1 million. And anyways, we were like in this group together and we're all like in similar revenue areas and we're all talking and it's like it was crazy. And the reason that they did this and what they pointed out is that regardless of what market you're in, like you have the same problems. And like
Yeah.
the problems exist within revenue bands and it is the same for literally any industry and everybody goes through it. It's like everybody is racing to that first $1 million in revenue, or deals or whatever it is. And it's like that first threshold to get some sort of semblance of success. And in that metric, it's just like who's good enough to get there. And then afterwards, it's like who's focused and has the clarity in order to continue doing the basics and the things that worked in order to get them there and start bringing on other people to help essentially. Um, and then from there, who has the vision and the potency within themselves in order to influence other people, and build a community, almost like this cult around it. And I think like, you know, even with Pace Morby, like when he started Sub 2, when you go on those Zooms with the fucking 1,000 people, he knows and would even say regularly, 99% of you won't do what I'm telling you to do. And he knows that. And I think that, what was cool for the difference of being in this room is like all of those people are already doing the thing. They're
Yeah.
already the
Yeah.
operators. They're already the anomalies. Like they put up a graph of, just like business breakdowns by revenue, in percentage of like on a pie chart. And then they did the percentage makeup of the room. And it was like, basically,
To
it
be
was
honest,
a
this
lot
is
more potent.
this is exactly what I wanted to do with Creative Elite, right? So when I was leading Sub to New England, I'm just mom to like all the lost boys, all the lost children of Never Never Land. And I know I have to pay whoever. But here's the thing. I always say this about sub 2. Sub 2 is a twice filtered community. Number one, you have to be attracted to Pace and what he talks about to pay any sort of money. Number two, you have had to make that 8,000 minimum payment to get in. That's not a bad room to be in. You know what I mean? Like you're either dealing with, Joe Schmo's randos on the street, or you have a twice filtered environment to pick from. The difference is it's a little like whatever. So
Still
anyway,
oversaturated. There's too many people.
it's not total garbage. But I was also in the place where when we first started, nobody had done a deal yet. And I remember joining. It took me like a year to join, and by the time I joined, I was always nervous that this was a scam. And so when I found out that nobody had done anything, I was like, holy fuck, this is a scam for 2 seconds. And then the entire thing was, let's get our first deal done as soon as possible because other people are having success. But anyway, Creative Elite now, all I care about is, all I want to do is do deals because in my opinion, you have the highest and best value to offer each other when you actually do the goddamn thing. So people that are transacting business. And so I had said when I first created this again, is I was like, you have to be on a HUD like once every 6 months. If you're not doing the damn thing, then you don't know enough to be here to be able to offer real value in real time. So I agree with you. Like, and Stratton, I think you're kind of in a transition period where you're the leader of your group, right? You control everything. You're the leader of your family. You're the leader of your business. I think it's time for you to have a community. And I felt this way when I was in it too, where I was like, there's either two things. I either wish for something. I see the possibility and the potential for something really great. Who's going to pick up the torch and carry it, right? Just because I see it doesn't mean I have to carry it. But if you do, and you say, listen, I can't wait for anybody else to do this. I want it, and I'm going to take ownership of my life and go for it. Then you have to be willing to pick up the torch and run with that bitch. I'll be here to support you. But like, I love where you're at. I just think you're in a transition phase where you're like, I've kind of maxed out where I am. I'm the best of everybody in my business. I'm the leader of my family, and I need to rub more shoulders with more people. I was there like 2 years ago with Sub 2 New England, where I was like, I can't be any bigger than I'm at now because I'm doing all the things that I want to do, should be doing. I need new ideas, and nobody is my peer. Nobody is my peer to talk to. So what do I do? At the time, I was like, either I go external and find other people who've done this, or I train up everybody else to be me, see how they do things differently, bring everybody up to my level, and then share. But that would have taken too much time. And the answer was step out, get out of Sub 2 because this is not everything, and find those people.
Well, you know what I think it is, Sharkey, is like, I remember when I first got in, I don't even know what year it was, 2022, I think, maybe. 2022, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, I think it was 2022. And I remember like that the first 8 months that I was in Sub 2, it was a smaller community. It was more of like everybody was into it to help everybody else. They kind of vibed with Pace's, perspective and, kind of like giving back and providing massive value and, all of that sort of stuff. And everybody, I feel like the community, it was a lot smaller. And the community was there, even in Sub 2 New England, like the community was there to be like, hey, there was just a natural vibe, I guess you could say, to be like, these are my people and I want to make sure that they're successful and I want to help these people. And it was like a, what do you call it? Like a, what do they call it in like biology? It's called a, symbiotic relationship. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just like, I'll help you, you know what I mean? And you help me, you know what I mean? It was like just this natural flow that was like really.
I'm gonna pause you. That shit was not natural AF. It was
maybe not natural.
It was, but what I'm saying is that like when you get into a community, and they'll tell you this with anything in biology, chaos fucking happens, implosion happens. You need leadership to constantly tell people, this is how we behave, this is how we act. Here are the consequences when we don't have it. And so essentially, Pace sets the tone because he's daddy at the time. We're a lot
Yeah.
smaller. I echo the tone, but I will tell you, it was one of my biggest pet peeves is constantly having to like jump down people's throats and tell them this is the lane that we're in. This is how we stay here. This is how we make everybody happy.
Exactly.
Maintain symbiotic, even though it has nothing to do with me. So when you
But
say
it was because of you, Sharkey. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's why it was what it was in Sub 2 New England was
right.
because of you. You know what I mean? And what I was getting to was like in that first 8 months, and it was for whatever reason, after that 8 months, things started to shift a little bit. And you know, that first 8 months, I came in to Sub 2. I worked for another company. I knew about Subject 2. And you know, in pre-foreclosures, that was my thing from the very beginning. You know, it was like helping people in pre-foreclosures and all of that. And then I remember like in the first 6 months, I moved back from out west, started a business on the East Coast when I was still out in Boise, Idaho. And I'm like, I'm gonna test this out, this vision and this plan of what at the time the business was Project Relief of helping people in pre-foreclosure. And we started with that vision, and at that same time I got into Sub 2 New England, you know, and it was really because I think of what you established there and how the community was so much into like giving to people and helping people and those people helping those people, and it was just so symbiotic, you know what I mean, that the first 6 months, and I bring this up to my team all the time, right? And I was like, when I was on the phones and I was cold calling myself and locking up deals and doing dispo and doing all of this shit, I locked up 12 deals within my first 6 months. You know, and I truly think that a massive portion of that was because of the community that you created and that I was a part of. You know what I mean? And from then, you know, since then, you know what I mean? Like we've been doing very well. You know what I mean? Everything's been fine. Everything's been good. But I miss the what we call it reciprocity. Like when like
Reciprocity.
reciprocity. Thank you. You would never guess that I had a master's degree because I can't even think of these words. But anyways, um, but you know what I mean? Like it was just so like ever revolving. You know what I mean? It was just so like you give in, what you give in, you get back. You know what I
But
mean? And it was
you
that
have
community is what I miss. That community
Yes.
is what I miss.
You have to have this, and not to get religious here, but like a long time ago, I was like, I want to have a cult. I'm not gonna lie, because you just keep it like this. Listen, every day, Jesus people read the Bible to a certain extent. Reading the Bible is like reading the instruction manual on like how to operate and how to be a good person, essentially. And
Yep.
then you also do some prayer, which is like reflection. And then once a week, you go to church and you have a guy give you this lesson on how to be a good person. Once a week, you go to church. And while you're at church, you're like rubbing elbows with all the other church people and they're holding you accountable. But this is the kind of like input that it takes to have a good community. And even then,
100%.
sheep get lost, whatever. But I don't want to say that I take from that, but I recognize that you have to have that kind of messaging consistently. People fall off the bandwagon. That was the most depressing thing for me, is people that were even in my Jeff Hamilton. I said it. Jeff Hamilton was a Connecticut leader that stole from somebody. He was in my leadership team. He was a good friend of mine. I picked him out myself. And people were telling me, they're like, the writing is on the wall. This is not good. He's going to do this bad thing. And I was like, Jeff would never do it. Guess who did it? So even people that I held close to me, even people that I had a weekly leadership meeting with them. Then I had a weekly, all hands on deck meeting. I had a separate Discord channel for the leaders. We had the Discord channel just for us that was really active. People are still going to make their own choices, and that's their business. And that I felt was like really devastating for me. But as a leader, I'm telling you, if there's something that you want and it's possible that you can have it and it's not happening on its own, that's the little call that says you are the person that needs to pick it up. That's your leadership call, which says, bitch, if you want it, you can have it. You need to take actions towards getting it, because it's not just going to spontaneously happen like that. You have to be able to put that energy out there, that messaging out there, set the standard that this is who we are. This is what we do. I want more of it. You kind of have to be vocal and communicate that. You have to be seen. Veader, right?
Yeah.
You have to be on social media and tell people what you want.
Yeah.
But like all these things go into it. You can have it. And I will tell you this, at a minimum, I don't regret anything that I ever did with Sub to New England at all. The reason why I did all the things that I did is because the people that I started with, I loved. That's the whole reason why I got together and would like have meetups. I had so much fun with them. I'd host the weekly call for like a year and a half straight. I didn't do shit on Thursday nights, not to say like I'm busy or whatever, but like I was locked in at my computer for like 12 hours at a time. We would go until like the wee hours of the morning, like 4 o'clock at some point, just because people will come on late and we get to chatting. But I don't regret any of it because the person that I am, having done all of that, you cannot take from me. I'm better for it. I have friendships that I would never take, like never, whatever they never regret. I have great relationships from it. Everything that I did, I earned. Every spreadsheet I ever made, every difficult conversation I ever had, like I am better for it. So I would tell you to do the same. If there's something that you want and universe is not giving it to you, that's your call to go out, step up to the plate and go get it. Now, if you have, again, everything that you do in life, there's feedback. You do something and you're like, oh, this feels like shit and I don't like it. That's what kind of happened to me. I did a bunch of stuff and I was like, oh, this is fucking gross. Like, this sucks. And I tried a bunch of different things. I tried talking to peers, that didn't happen. I talked to Pace. I did mushrooms and ayahuasca because I was like, I was really searching for some answers. Whatever you do, the feedback that you get gives you information on do you like it, do you not like it, and then it's your choice to make another choice if it bothers you enough. Or if you have the balls enough to make another choice, make another choice. But you are the leader of your life, period. You're the person that drives the car that is Jonathan Stratton. Where do you fucking want to go? You want to go to a shithole or you want to go to someplace cool? It's a little scary going to someplace cool for the first time ever, but there's only one way to get there. And you need to, every step in that direction matters. So I would tell you, if there's something that you want, go get it. It's yours. And that's the other thing too. I think that as a leader, you have to be able to visualize what is possible. So you already did that. You're already like, we could have some cool, crazy, cool things, like really nice stuff. How do we get there? You got to step up to the plate and you got to swing.
And I think that also you have to be like absolutely ruthless. Like if there's one thing that I was able to see firsthand with Alex Hormozzi's team, like they do over $250 million a year in revenue. Like that's $5 million a week. It's fucking insane. And they are some of the most ruthless people that I've seen in real life. And they have absolutely no shame about it either. Like they will poach, steal their talent. Like they do not care where it comes from or what, you know, connections they have to whomever else. They're like, I want you, come over here. This is what I'm willing to give for you. And if they're worth it, they will do whatever they need. Like they had one of their companies that they sold for like $60 million and wrote into the contract certain key people that they were going to poach from the company and take with them onto their next venture. Yeah, like absolutely looking out for yourself and your back and like they will fire somebody immediately. Like you and the importance of the people that they bring into the team, like if you are feeling and because I felt the same way too. Like I genuinely think that the business that I'm a part of in my family is not necessarily a skill deprivation, but like a difference of vision. Like my dream of what I want to accomplish is different from what they care to make of the business. Like the opportunity exists everywhere and anywhere, but what it takes in order to get there is like ruthless aggression in a lot of cases. And the people who are willing to do that and who share the same mindset and have the values and the work ethic that you bring to the table. Like every single person at acquisition.com works 60 hours a week minimum. Like they work on Sundays. They come into the office because they want to. And they're like sales people, like sales reps and closers. They're not, the COO. It's all of them collectively. And I think that that's the same kind of level that you have to bring to a team. And if you have one person who's leading the charge, because have been in that position for the last 12 months in the business where I'm like literally begging and pleading with people to care about things, and you quite literally cannot make them. And so if you have people that are just not performing to standards, you have to find new people. And if you can't find those people, acknowledging that that is a skill gap in your ability to find the right people. And then if that's your thing, which usually it is, like if you're killing it and your business is doing really well and you're not at a lack of, I don't know if you were on the call when I was saying this, but all businesses are either supply constrained or demand constrained.
He totally dipped.
Dang it.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Um,
I think he's in a different place. Like I definitely see him in a transition place.
mhm.
And yeah, that's tough. That's tough to like, make the next step and leave what you know behind and go to the unknown. Scott Falvey, I know that you're older than me. Do you have any life advice that you would, what's your life advice?
You know, do what you want to do. I mean,
I like it.
uh, I've had different opportunities throughout my life. Here's an example. I originally went to college to be a professional pilot, to fly airlines and stuff. And there was something about that college that didn't quite fit me, and
Mhm.
so I changed and I went a whole different route. And not that, what I have is bad, but it's different. And I still look back and I'm like, I should have stuck with flying because I always watch planes that are flying overhead. I love being in airports. I love, air shows. I mean, I think, maybe not, I do have my private pilot's license, but um, I didn't do that. And following that career would have allowed me to do a lot of the things that I really enjoy in life. And the path that I chose, has given me different opportunities. And some of it's been a struggle. I'll say a lot of it's been a struggle. Even getting my footing here with getting involved in real estate has been a struggle. But
Yeah.
but I think for myself personally, I'm ready to take on that challenge and do it the way that I should be doing it. But yeah, I mean, you need to love what you're doing. Otherwise, why are you doing it?
And I think if I can interrupt real quick, Sharky.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of sorry, my phone shut down. So
Yeah.
and kind of back, kind of going on what you were saying, um, as well, Scott, with Lee, is I think what it comes down to too a lot of the time, like most of the time, I mean what research shows is that, one of the things that I used to do, let me put it this way. One of the things I used to do when I was when I was in a completely different profession and I was managing a whole bunch of teams in school districts around, New Hampshire, was one of the first things that what I would do before I would come in, because essentially for those who don't know, what I used to do is I used to come in and I used to provide treatment plans and behavioral plans for children that were at risk and, had a lot of behavioral deficits and all of that sort of shit. The first thing that I would do was come in and I would do a value-based discovery, a value-based assessment on what is it that the teacher, right, or the person working with the child values. And then I would go in and I would do an assessment on the child. What is the thing that the children, what do they want? You know what I mean? What do they want to work towards? What do they value? What's important in their lives? And this kind of goes into what you were saying, Scott. And I think also like Lee is like I think it comes down to like having, you have to have the relentlessness. Like you have to be relentless, and you have to like have people on your team and be a part of people that are relentless. But also, I think what's not talked about a lot of the times is that you have to know what the people that your community and your audience and the people that you're working with value, period. Like if they don't value it, right, then they're not going to pay attention to it. And what I've been learning is that, whether I'm on a call with a seller or whether it's an investor that I'm talking to, somebody wants to buy a property, or somebody wants to partner in on a property with me, or lend money to us, or whatever it is like they're like the people that I've done business with value what I can provide to them in resources and with education, with information, and just being a genuine person and an authentic person. And I think that side of things goes unrecognized more than anything else in this business. And I think that you know, Pace is a good person. He provides a good example. Let me put it that way. I don't know if he's a good person, but he's a good example of providing a shit ton of free resources and information and education and value to people. And because he does that, people follow him because people are searching for things that they value themselves. And I think that a lot of the times, like most of the time, like that is what people that are doing like social media marketing and trying to expand and trying to do things is like you have to get beyond having it be I forget what it's called in the marketing industry, but it's called like person centered marketing, or I think it's like person centered marketing versus value centered marketing or something like that. And if you are able to, if you market yourself as providing value and giving resources and information to other people so that they can accomplish, or they can come to they can solve the issues and the problems, and that you can make their life easier, right? They're going to come back to you and they're going to remember you as that. And that's something that I super value, and that is a part of just who I am. I've always been that person since I was probably in elementary school. Like that's just who I am. And I'm just realizing now that that's actually something that people value, especially over the last 3 years. I think that's what it comes down to, is like making sure that whatever we're doing, whether we're trying to hire the right people, or we're trying to train the right people, or we're trying to get the right seller, negotiate and get more deals, or negotiate with buyers or partners or whatever it is that what a lot of us are missing and what we're not bringing to the table is seeing what the other person values in that relationship. And I think it's one of the most fucking key, most important fucking things that most of us are missing in our narratives that we're talking about, whether it's on social media or in our discourse and communications with people.
All right, hang on. Let's go all the way back. You, in one sentence, what is your challenge? What are you trying to do and or accomplish?
You said you. There's 6 U's here.
Wait, what?
I think she's talking about Stratton.
No,
Stratton, me?
Yes, you.
you said you.
What am I trying to accomplish? Well, deep rooted, what I'm trying to accomplish is change the narrative of people that want to be involved in the real estate industry and real estate investing to being truly a value based experience. And more immediately, what I'm trying to accomplish is trying to connect with more people that are like-minded with me, that value my values, I guess, and what I think is important, and want to do fun things and play in the sandbox together in real estate.
You're looking for friends, dude. I'm in the same boat. You are.
Friends.
I say, so even for Creative Elite, like I think you need to get specific on what you want, because the only way for you to find people is to tell them what the fuck you want, right? Because if you're just like, I'm feeling feelings and I don't know what I'm feeling, but I want to feel you. And they're like, the fuck is this, right? So I always tell people for Creative Elite, I try to make it simple, but then like I'm also very verbose. And I'm like, no thieves. I want no thieves. But what I usually say is, I want good people to be good friends to each other. And we make good money together because we do good work. And I know good sounds very lame, but good or great. Some people, I think, back away from the word great. I love the word great. I always have this thing where I'm like, the greatness in me sees the greatness in you. And especially if we're entrepreneurs, like we're special. We just are. But I would tell you to get really clear on what it is that you want, the type of person that it is that you want, put words to it. I feel like I understand you when you talk. I know you're like, I don't know if this makes any sense. Bitch, you make sense to me. Okay. So to the people that you vibe with, we're going to get you. I think you're in a transition period. You want higher caliber, higher quality friends. You might not know how to get them, but exactly what you're doing now, which is talking about it. You know, I'm in a period of my life where I'm looking to do this. I don't know how to do this, but I know it's possible. I want to move in this direction. The best thing you can do is start talking about it.
Here it is. If this simplifies things, I've always been the guy from when I was in my 20s, right? And I was in college that was looking for a relationship, not a one night stand. You know what I mean? Like I wanna meet people. I wanna get to know you. I wanna get to know your family. I wanna do big things with you and us trust each other and do massive things. I think a lot of this industry can be very one night standish, you know, and that's not who I've ever been. It's not who I am to my core. And valuing the other person and what is important to them and what they value is the key to how I lock up deals, to how I partner, is how I do everything in our business. And that's what I'm looking to build within this community, my community, whatever people that I want to
Your
work with. You know what I mean?
your sphere of influence. So let me put this
Yeah.
in boating terms for you, right?
Thanks.
So
Thank
you're
you.
on your little boat and you make a little wake. What I'm trying to say is everywhere you go, every person you touch, you have an impact on them, right? What I would almost challenge you to do is be very clear about what your brand is so that when people leave you, they fucking know Stratton is these three things. Stratton is, what are you? How would you describe yourself in three pillars?
Yeah. Heard.
No, I'm asking you right now. What would you say right now?
Oh, what are my
on the
three pillars?
top?
Oh shit! Out off the top of the dome. My three pillars. I don't know.
The three most important things to you in this bit as you move forward in this business.
Integrity.
Yep.
Integrity, loyalty, and boy, that's a hard one off the top. Integrity, loyalty, and like I don't know, like something. Maybe dedication. Maybe not be the right word, but something like that you're just like persistent, like you're just like willing to do whatever it takes.
Disciplined.
Discipline. Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for.
You got baby brain. It's okay. You're forgiven. You talk to toddlers all day. You watch the whatever it is that they're watching, Miss Rachel nowadays. You're forgiven.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
When you
Thanks.
meet people in real estate, do you ask them any of these questions? Do you ever sit down and have a value-based assessment of sorts, or do you have any documentation that
Yep. So
they have to
when I
send
get
in
on a
in order for
call,
you to review?
usually I introduce who I am and
Mhm.
our company and what we stand for, and I go over what a couple of our core values. You know that like no BS. Integrity. We're not gonna beat around the bush. We're not gonna waste any of your time. No bullshit. And what we say we're gonna do, we're gonna do. And that's a little bit about our company, and but fill me in on what your situation is, and if you have any questions for me, let me know. You know what I mean, kind of thing. And that's how I start off every call with a seller. Is basically that I tell them who I am and what I stand for, and how our company, what our core values are, essentially.
Do you ask them any questions about themselves?
Oh, all day long. Yeah. So I developed a value-based discovery, which I'm happy to share with Creative Elite. That I built off of a lot of psychological, and research and behavioral research and stuff like that from when I went to school. And so what I start with, the number one step is to disarm and build rapport. Number two is to talk about situational discovery. And so catch me, like what Pace says a lot of the time, catch me up to speed. What's your situation? Paint me a picture, what you're going through. What led you to calling me today? You know what I mean? And I go into a lot of discovery about what their situation is, and what they're going through. I don't talk about price. The price and the price is the last thing, is the very last thing that I talk about. And sometimes I don't even talk about it in the first appointment.
So
You know,
you're talking about doing like sales transactions?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So do you do anything similar for recruitment?
So
Like what
recruitment,
questions do
it's
you
the
ask for
same.
recruitment?
Yeah, I think that the discovery questionnaire that I put together can be used in dating. I think it can be used in recruiting. It can be used in sales transactions, in talking with partners, everything, right? Because essentially what the pillars are is the report and disarm, and just being a real human being is essentially what that means. And then number two is like, so what's your situation, why are you here, what brought you here today, and what are you going through, what are your problems, what are the things that gave you the essentially motivation, right? Then I start kind of getting into the motivation of like, what brought you here, what have you been going through, what are your past experiences, all of that sort of stuff. And then we get into into solution based discovery, and we go into all that, and I go through the same thing. Doesn't matter whether I'm recruiting you for my team, or you're a seller, or whether you're a partner or whatever, because what that process does is it gives you the true picture of who that person is, and you're not skipping over any of the major important steps that it's the same process that a therapist goes through. If you ever went to a therapist and you go into their office, right? It's the same thing. Like, okay, catch me up to they'll do some like discourse that will like just build rapport and tell me about yourself, and what are you interested in, what are your hobbies, whatever, right? Like, what brings you in today, all this sort of stuff. And then they get into, so what's your problems, like, how can I help you, how can I solve your problems? And then you get into potential solutions. What are your solutions, and what are the solutions that I think might be beneficial for you? And then that's like a conversation that you have at that point, you know what I mean? But I go through everybody. Doesn't matter, yeah, whether I'm like hiring you onto my team, whether you're a seller, a partner, or an investor. I go through the same thing every single time.
So you're getting this like psychographic of the person, and then from there, you're determining whether or not it's going to be a fit from a sales
If
perspective.
it's a good fit, yeah,
Team
some
fit.
some therapists are a good fit for some patients,
Mhm.
and some therapists, based off of their responses, are not a good fit. And it helps you wean out like who's worth your time, and who you can make the biggest impact on, and who you cannot, you know?
And so you said that you were struggling to find people that were at a higher level. Is that something that you're determining from a team perspective, like your own team internally, from a networking perspective, from a lending perspective? Like who is it that you feel like isn't up to
So
snuff?
within my team, I'm at the kind of the top of my team. So I have the most experience, and I've done the most deals, and I have so I'm kind of at the top, within my team. Within my community, there's people that I look up to, and that I aspire to be more like, and I idolize, I guess you could say, to a certain extent. Um, but that aren't in my immediate circles enough, you know what I mean? That I would like, you know what I mean? Maybe aren't close enough, like Sharky, and others, you know what I mean? And so it's more of like, where I'm at is like, I don't know, if you were to, I don't know, if you were to get into developing properties or something like that, like on a massive scale, and we're going to subdivide frickin' like 25 lots or something, like, I don't know, something bigger than what I've done, right? I don't know. I don't have people. I feel like I don't have people in my community that I could lean on to, that are doing bigger things in certain areas than what I myself have done. And so that's kind of what I'm, wanting to get more involved with.
So
If
where
that
are you
makes
now? What do you feel like is your constraint?
My constraint is I would by the because of the volume of the deals that we have, that I know we could work out and do like, different sort of creative things, creative deals with. There's not enough people that are familiar with the creative side of things that also maybe have money and could partner on these deals. And I'm walking away from deals that I know if I just had somebody maybe at my level or above my level that would be like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. We could totally do this and partner up and do big things with to I don't know.
What I was saying before you cut
Yeah.
off, there's businesses are either supply constrained or demand constrained. And essentially what that means is if you're supply constrained, it means you can't handle the level of workload, or you feel like there are missed opportunities within it. You can't capitalize on what you have available.
I
Yeah.
would even challenge this, Stratton. You are your own biggest problem right now. And I'll give it to you two ways. Number one, you're great at what you do, right? So you're great at taking care of everybody who is less than you. It feels good to be great. It feels good to take care of them. You have a family of 5, right? Like you're a provider. I know your type. You care for people, you provide for people, but you are not going the opposite direction and being the small fish in the boat. So like Lee went to this thing, a 2-day thing. He's I don't know how he described it, but he's like the least successful of 70 people in the business, right? You need to be more in rooms that suck. And I almost will challenge you and tell you,
Yeah.
I think you have a little bit of an ego problem. Everybody does if it's left unchecked. But I think you need to purposefully suck ass somewhere. Wherever
No,
it is,
that's what I want. No, honestly, like you might say I have an ego problem, but I might have an ego problem, but I want to suck it somewhere.
so you need to step up to the plate and go
You know?
suck booty somewhere. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I would almost I think that being in the right rooms is great. But I mean, you're basically the only thing that you need to do is find somebody that you can bring onto your team that's more qualified.
He's not talking about bringing on a team. He's
Yeah, I don't
talking
want to
about
bring up. Yeah.
Does it
He's
have to
talking
be
about having-
creative?
Yeah.
If your
Does it have
team
to be
if your
creative?
team can't handle the current workflow or the deals, if
So
they
let
can't,
me put it this way, right? In the last week, I've had a wedding venue that has been sent to me on Sebago Lake,
That's
right?
smart.
I have another freaking venue that's been sent to me that's freaking RV park in Maine. I have another one that's been that was brought to me today. What the hell was it? It was a freaking I didn't even pay attention to it because I was like, is it creative? And he said no, so I didn't even like look at it. But it was like I have all these deals that are brought to me, but I don't have the bandwidth to be able, like, I don't have somebody that can I could underwrite these deals and I could start the beginning of the negotiations, but I don't have the time to underwrite it and get it to the point for me to be worth my time to get on a call, because it would take so much time to get there that I need like other people that know creative finance like I do and know how to do it like with like commercial properties and commercial loans like I do.
which means you need to
And
hire.
you know what I mean? And like doing stuff on that level that there's just so many missed opportunities like that I get that come in that I don't have the, like, Mark, you sent me something, right? I haven't even had the time to freaking send. I had another guy, Justin, sent me freaking a 24 unit lakeside freaking community in Wolfboro that I haven't even been able to look at because I don't have the time to do it because I'm closing other deals. So I like, so that's one thing, you know what I mean? That's like one example of like what I need like in my community, so I could partner with somebody and somebody could do like knows how to do the underwriting for these bigger deals, so I could do more stuff of like the deal that we took down in December on
Stratton.
M32, you know what I mean, like that sort of stuff.
Who's the first? So let's go back to Mark's deal. Mark has that wedding venue somewhere, someplace, right? Who's the first person that you think of that you're like, who's the first person that comes to mind that you're like, I either want to work with this person or like I would ask for their opinion on it, or I want to check in with this person and see if it's a good deal? Do you have a person that you'd be like, this person?
I do, but she doesn't have the bandwidth to
Alexa?
seriously, yes, to look at the deals sometimes.
You need more friends then. How do we find more Alexa?
I would be happy to look at some of the bigger multifamilies.
Yeah, I have like people sending me portfolios and being like,
Yeah.
they're open to doing creative terms. Here's a freaking 24 freaking book portfolio. Can
Yeah.
you underwrite the deal? And I'm like, I don't have time. Even in my partner Noli, he doesn't have time to freaking to do it because our freaking bandwidth is so out straight. You know what I mean? It's like I need somebody that is
Where
like
where can you
serious.
meet these people? Where can you meet these people that are buying these deals? So like Alexa Dealey, she's one of them and she's maxed out, right? But like who are her, have you asked her like, hey, listen, if this is not good for you, obviously Nick Allerud is another one. Nick Allerud used to run Black Diamond REI Group. I would ask him and just be like, hey, is there anyone buying in New Hampshire? You can even post in his Facebook group. Is there anyone in New Hampshire buying this
Yeah.
kind of stuff? I think you just need to throw up the bat signal and ask for help. Because at the end of the day, you're not trying to hire anyone internally to take care of this. You're looking for a peer. You're looking for somebody who's better at this shit than you are because
Yeah.
you get it. You're like, I'm fucking overwhelmed. You can't do shit with it. And I think you're too proud to send it to somebody else because you have to go to somebody else and be like, sir, give me some porridge, sir.
No,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
even it's not even being proud. It's that like I don't have the bandwidth because I'm so busy. I don't have like it affects my bandwidth of like being able to think of like, oh, who's in my community? Who can I send? You know, I mean, I have like three or four
Is it
people, and
understood?
if they're
Is it,
tied
is it
up, then I'm just like I got to move on to what's going to make money now. You know what I
But
mean? So it's
if you don't have the bandwidth to find if you don't have the bandwidth to go out and make these relationships with higher caliber people who can take care of these things, right? Or these higher caliber relationships, maybe it's not important to you. Maybe you think it's important. Maybe you're a person like, I want to have everything, and that's fine, right? But if at the end of the day, you cannot dedicate time to making those relationships, making a phone call, introducing yourself to somebody, if you can't do that, then maybe it's not important enough to you. And that's why you're not allocating energy to it.
Anything that's a residential, like big portfolio, I would love to take a look at. Personally,
okay.
just as a side note.
Okay, good to
Uh,
know. Okay.
I would definitely like to get into either some syndications or bigger multifamilies. Um, and then specifically in New Hampshire, which would be great.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean the biggest thing is like I just need somebody to like look at the deal, underwrite it, and be like, is this a deal or not? This is where we're at. Here's the picture. And
Yeah.
then all I need is that, and then I can go and negotiate. Like I'm good at going and closing the deals and doing the seller finance and
Yeah.
working through the difficulties with all of that shit. I just need somebody that
I feel
can,
I feel
yeah,
like you need the buyer. You need the buyer to tell you where they're at and to analyze the deal, and then you're the messenger that'll go back and lock up the deal for them.
exactly,
Right.
100%.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
doing like a basic.
you need to be meeting those people. And if you're not meeting those people, then you don't have those buyers, then those opportunities are lost, then you feel guilty, right? But again,
100%.
if you're not going out and actively searching for those relationships, asking Alexa like who to talk to, calling Nick Allerud and saying like, listen, Alexa is maxed out. Who is next? Rhea Campbell is the girl that she works with. If you're not talking to her, if you're not doing these like 5-minute conversations, 30-minute conversations, then it might not be important to you. And that might be something that you just need to let go of and say, listen, I could have these amazing, great deals, but at the end of the day, it's not worth my time because I'm too busy doing all these other things that are important to me. And I'm willing to let them go and switch gears and into this thing. Figure out what's important to you, figure out what it is that you want.
Yeah, I just need more. I need like 5 people lined up, or like 3, or like a solid two people lined up
You need
that
to ask,
I can rely on and be like, hey, here's a deal. I
yeah,
need to underwrite this and come back in like 48 to 72 hours and
Stratton,
start negotiating.
all you need to do is ask for it.
Yeah, no, I know I don't do that enough. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
why do you not do that enough? Don't answer now. That's a you
It's
talk
it's an it's being trained in sales for the last 6 years, and it's like time versus return, and it's like, well, I know a commercial property is gonna take freaking 6 months to take down, and yeah, the profit could be and yeah, it could be beneficial, and long term it could be beneficial, or I have all these other leads that are coming in on pre-foreclosure single families, and I can go assign them and go freaking make $50,000 a piece. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's a
I
part of it, is I just don't have That's a part of it. That's
I
a
think
major part of it.
the question you need to answer is what's important to you. If the commercial stuff is not important to you, that's fine, right? Like you're not even the buyer for it, so you underwriting it's going to take too long. Figure out what's important to you. If you have better ROI on the single family and that's where you want to be, then be there. If you want to do more in commercial, then you need to allocate time to doing that, which includes building relationships. Building relationships don't need to be so intense, right? Like my thing is, I will go back and challenge. I know you and Lee were talking about, how psychoanalyzing and value exchanges. I'm beyond that. I'm old. I'm not retaining as much as I used to retain. People are a little bit dumb and I have zero fucking patience. So this is what I'll tell you. I distill myself down into 3 things. Number 1, Rhode Island. You think of Rhode Island, you think of me. Number 2, think of Korean. You think of Korean shit, you think of me. Number 3 is technically I'm a cash buyer in North Shore. So when you think of that, think of me. But I want to be a neural jump for these people. I want to be so easy that when you think of this, you instantly think of Suzanne. And so I think it's important. I tend to be very proactive about this because I'm not going to explain myself to somebody and then have them come up with the 3 things that they identify me as. Bitch, I'm to just tell you. You think of this, you think of me. So I would tell you, if you want to just try something for a week, I would listen. You're great. You're great at your psychology. I love that. You and I could talk for hours on it. I know you love helping people, but I would tell you, I think you're in a transition period where you're like, I want more out of life and it's not coming to me on a silver platter. I think it's time that you get out there, kind of like Lee said, and you're a little bit tenacious about it. You're a little bit unapologetic and you go hard after the things you want. And I would tell you, for like the next week, rather than like helping people out and like, I don't know why I just think of like rubbing your titties together and being like kumbaya and let's hug. I think you should penetrate and just say, this is who I am. I am this, I am this, I am this. This is what I'm trying to do. If you know of anybody, you let me know. If you're that person, here's how to connect with me. Come to my meetups or join my Facebook group and like, let's do more together. But you are the pillar. You emulate what you want because it's inherent to you. And if the people that value what you value are going to be attracted to you, but I'm going to challenge you that you need to be more vocal about what it is the fuck you want. And rather than you doing this whole back and forth exchange of like an hour and rubbing titties together, just punch them in the face with the 3 things that you want them to know about you. Be really direct and keep it moving. So like, when I go to a meetup, I'll tell them, my name is Suzanne fucking Sharkey. I'm Korean, bitch. Use your eyes. I'm from Rhode Island, and I'm a cash buyer in North Shore. If you find deals, I'm the first person you come to talk to. Thank you and good night. And then I leave. I'm not into here to like fix them and be their therapist. Like, go pay somebody to do that. I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to tell you what I want. If you want to do the same thing back to me, that's great because then I can think about you in future opportunities. But beyond that, I got a bunch more people I need to meet. And the people that vibe with me, you'll figure it out. But I think you almost need to churn through people faster. I think you're spending too much time with people that are less than you because I think it's an ego stroke to be like, I feel so good helping people. But the answer is you need to help yourself. Because if you're not getting better, you can't be as great as you're destined to be.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I do have a decent balance of not wasting time with certain people, but I respect what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I would tell you the word that I used was like functional selfishness, because I used to be a person that was all about serving others for the longest time. And there's a part of that I love and I don't regret it. But you have to get to a point with, this is literally the rock on my desk. It says, what matters most. And for the longest time, I thought like the outcome is what matters most. And then like something happened to me where like a year ago, I was like, no, bitch, I matter most. If I'm not being well taken care of, if I'm not being poured into, that was another thing about being a leader that I hated, is I was always leading and never participating. I wasn't going out to events like Lee. I wasn't being a student, and I'm missing out on growth, right? So there has to be that kind of like duality in it, that you are a student, but you are an ever evolving, ever growing person. You need to take care of your own growth because it's not just going to hit you up sideways. You almost have to take ownership of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you come to me, I will yell at you, but there's the greatness in me sees the greatness in you, bitch.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I feel like it's a delicate balance. You know what I mean? Like you can't go too far on the transactional side. or you're going to be limited by the opportunities that you get in your life, and you can't go too far on the let me just take care of you side, or you're going to waste a lot of your time. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to find that balance. You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, if you're able to look at things and assess things, whether it's worth your time or not, without dedicating a ton of time in the very beginning based off of certain qualifiers, then
Mhm.
that's the answer. You know what I mean? Like that's the most efficient way to do things.
So one last time, what is it that you want?
Didn't I already answer this?
You
No.
did. You did. One more time. What is it that you want?
So what is it that I want in my life, just in my life,
No,
like
just
in my
going forward
community?
from this step forward, what is it that you want?
What is it that I want? I want to be able to, I guess, well, after this conversation, it's kind of changed, I guess, but I want to be able to lean on other people that are at a higher level that I can depend on, and potentially partner on that we share similar morals and values with, and can partner on deals, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want higher caliber friends and have a symbiotic relationship with them, which essentially goes back to being good friends. So friends with higher skill sets,
Yep.
new friends, possibly. Yeah.
And I want all the multifamilies. And you know that.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
All right,
Okay.
we're gonna shift gears. Scott Falvey, tell me what you're working on. Tell me where you're up to, because it's been a minute, Mr. Transactional Lending and Credit Card Liquidation.
Yeah.
Look at my skills.
So that alone says, a bit about what I've been up to. Um, so kind of back in the original conversation, I joined Sub 2 originally to try to buy properties, that will cash flow. That was the goal. And I struggled with that. I felt like I was asking people, for help with things, and I just wasn't getting, the help that I needed to feel like I could move forward with stuff. And so along came Gator Method, and Pace with his magical marketing. It sounded all great, and um, a decent way to make money. And so I followed that, and I got involved, and I started getting into lending about a year and a half ago now, and I've done 5, 6, I think 7 private money lending deals. Um, Only one has paid on time. All the other ones have been problems. EMD stuff. I've funded a few EMDs, but none of them actually went through. And so I've spent a lot of time kind of going at that angle. And with these last few PMLs, well, there's also, so towards the tail end of this, 2 months ago, I actually became a credit partner with a real estate investor. And if everything is true of what he said, he owns over $1 billion in real estate. And he works with credit partners. I've got an 820 credit score, and he has some good, mortgage brokers, financing brokers. And I decided to join up with him, and it didn't take very long for me to realize that he doesn't operate in the style in which I operate. And, he doesn't care how long it takes for a transaction, a contract to close for purchase. He doesn't care if the EMD doesn't, get there on time. Um, so after, I learned this because we got into some contracts, and my job is to, bring in the financing and sign the documents. And when it came time for the EMD to come, I would get an excuse of, well, I wired it. Well, it hasn't showed up. And so, long story short, you know, he claimed that relationships were important to him, that real estate is a relationship-based business, which I wholeheartedly agree with. But then as we were going through these things, you know, for the E&D not to show up and he's telling me one thing and then he's telling me another thing, or I can't even communicate with him because he won't respond to emails or phone calls. I ended up canceling the contracts and he said, you know, well, you know, you did this one-sided and, you know, so I guess we're not going to do business together. And at first I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, you know what? I actually don't want to do business with you.
Yeah, his behavior sucks. So just because you fucking filed the paperwork doesn't mean you called the shot. He behaved and then you followed it up with paperwork. Tell him to go fuck himself and you can drop his name and I will be there with a bunch of rotten eggs and I will rotten egg all $1 billion worth of his property.
Yeah.
I'm spiteful.
So I actually learned a lot from that very short relationship.
Good.
And I actually believe, you know, being a credit sponsor is actually a really good way to invest as long as you are working with people that you can trust and have dignity. And those are the people that
What is a credit sponsor? He's using your credit to qualify for mortgages. He pays you for that, and then he takes those mortgages and he purchases properties.
this setup was, you know, we had a partnership on the side. My responsibility in the partnership was to bring a high credit score. I had to maintain at least a 780 credit score. You know, we would use my credit and I would have my own LLC in which, you know, the credit would be used to put properties under contract and get the financing for. And he would come in and he would do all of the work, bring the contractors, you know, he'd find the properties, he'd bring the contractors, he'd do the work, and we'd use the financing obviously to pay for the deal. And then either we sell the deal or we refinance into a DSCR. I would get 40% of ownership or profit. He'd get 60% of ownership or profit. And it would work that way. So I think it's a really good model as long as you're working with the right people.
Yeah. Bye, Lee.
Bye. Good night. Yeah.
Right?
Bye-bye.
So that was kind of the impetus for me to kind of reevaluate. Lending is not for me. Lending does not make me happy. I like buildings. I love buildings. I love figuring them out. I go on trips. What do I look at? I look at the architecture. You know, I'm not looking at the culture and so I am, but you know, I love the buildings. And so
Yeah.
I
I know your type. You're like, let it go. Yeah. So what do you want to do going forward now? So you've been in lending for like 2 years now, kind of, right?
it's been about a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want to do going forward?
So going forward, I want to get back on track and I want to buy cash flowing properties. And if I can find a good fix and flip to supplement something in between, I want to do that.
Okay. So what you have on your table, it's you, me, and Mark, right? I'm happy to support you in whatever way possible. I have 6 flips underneath my belt. I also am part of the 800 club when I'm not doing a flip because to make it through the Andover project, I had to pay my minimum balance and then I was carrying a large whatever. And so I think like my credit utilization fucking pushed me down to 600, but I'm good at paying my bills and my bills are low.
I can help you with that stuff.
I know.
You know,
I don't know that I need it, but like, yeah, when it comes to like, yeah, we can do all that stuff.
I can be a credit partner with you, you know,
Yeah.
to sponsor the loans for you.
But I'm saying, do I need you if I have an 800?
If you have an 800, no.
Yeah. So I got that. But what I have is I have experience. So if you don't have like within the last 3 years, so backflip is the one, Mike, I got it from Mark. Mark got it from Janine Whitaker. She's done like a 3 with them. He's doing 1 with her now. I reviewed them. So I'm gonna put in Creative Elite. I had another project coming up. We ended up having a pipe burst, but I ended up having like 5 or 6 lenders all give me apples to apples. Here's my credit score. Here's the fucking house. Here's my purchase price. How much money are you gonna give me? The best one was Backflip, and so they start at 1.5 points. The doc fee is $17.50. Am I repeating myself to you?
Yeah, you tested that to me. Yeah.
Okay, great. So it's great, and it goes low. I think we do have a little bit of a challenge because New Hampshire can be a little bit rural.
Well, especially here, that this is rural. Yeah, it is. We've only got like 5,000 households in the town.
I mean, like, so the Mark has one that's rural. The purchase price was $160 on it, but it's pretty rural and it's in Maine. I think the biggest.
I don't think that one's considered rural. It's
really.
I mean, it's like Sanford's kind of a, you know.
Scott, are you sure you want to buy this house? Like, who's going to live in it if you have like 3 neighbors? Like,
that's my only worry.
I am telling you, this is one of those towns that people want to get into because of the school systems.
So Scott, I'm telling you, that kind of energy that you have, that's the energy that you need going forward in. I also want to punch you in the face just a little bit. When you first started and you said like nobody was helping me, nobody was hand holding me. It's true. If nobody fucking holds your hand, who's going to hold your hand, bitch?
Yeah,
you got to hold your own hand. Okay. And it got to a point, like even with me, I fucking held hand. Stupid shit. I partnered with men. I hid behind them. I did 98% of the work because I was afraid to be seen, right? Then I got my ass kicked big time, right? Big time. And it pissed me off, but that's my style. I need to get like punched in the face and then I fucking learn my lesson. But anyway, it forced me to do shit on my own. I had the time of my life doing it on my own. Did I cry? Yes. Did some other bullshit? Yes. But the growth that I had it's next level. Nobody can take from you shit that you know. Nobody can take from you the things that you accomplish and do. Okay. Right. So you want to do this flip. Yeah. As long as the price is right. Mark,
as long as the price is right.
Are you writing an offer for him?
Yeah, I can work on that. Do we have I need to send everything over in like a package, right? So it needs to be the offer that needs to be signed. It needs to be the proof of funds, or the pre-approval letter. It needs to be the check and all that.
Scott, you can
to
get
be taken seriously.
Yeah. So because once you get a full package, then you're like, oh, all the boxes are checked. This guy is serious. You know, even if your number is not the right number, having those are good. If you want a proof of funds, you can get one within 5 minutes. You literally fill out an online form and it puts it automatically into a template. You don't have to use them. It's kind of like a marketing thing for where they're like, oh, we wrote this for you. Do you want to follow through with lending? Okay, just use the shit. Do you have a check? You can write a check for $1,000 or $500, whatever it is. So write it to start. If Mark gets feedback from the agent where it's like it's not good enough or whatever, then we can adjust. But at a minimum, it would get your foot in the door. It's so important. Yeah.
So my broker got back to me and said, when do you need it by? I told them, before noon tomorrow for proof of funds. If Backflip can come through, I don't know what they need to show that you would be the partner with the experience, because maybe Backflip can do it quicker. So that would, either one of those two, we can get the proof of funds.
Scott, I will tell you right now, in 5 minutes, you can have a proof of fund letter. I agree with Mark. Time kills all deals. You want to be first through that motherfucking door. Yeah. Everybody else, I know that when I receive like offers on a house, my first offer is my best offer. First offer is one of my favorite offers because it's proof of concept that I'm priced right. Like it's my first feedback on my asking price. So having somebody come first through the door shows me you're ready, you're thorough. I love all those things. So I'm going to tell you, you can just search like proof of funds letter. I'll send you a link to one. Just search proof of funds letter. You literally fill out the form. It automatically produces a document to you. You can send that over to Mark in one of however many things that he needs from you. But you need a contract with an offer, with the language that has the escalator on it. You need a check. It's just a copy of a check to say, here's the check, wherever you want me to mail it, whatever. You don't have to pay stupid wire fees. Forget that. It's just
I don't have checks. I'd have to do it by wire.
You don't have checks?
No.
Can't you do a personal check, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, personal check is fine.
I don't have personal checks either.
Are you shitting me?
Everything is electronic. No, I'm not.
I'll give you a check. Okay, I'll give you a check. You're killing me. You're fucking killing me. I'll give you a check. Mark will give you a check. You Venmo him $100. He'll put in a check for you, right, Mark?
Need some sort of check. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Just
So why insist it on a check? Because I mean, all these deals that I see, is wiring funds.
If you want to wire. I like a check. Check is a paper trail. I mean, if it's a little bit of money, it's kind of like a Venmo thing. I hate that there's like no, when you send a wire, it's like throwing money into the ethers, not knowing whether or not it's going to pass. That's how I feel.
There's
just
some truth to that.
any real estate, pretty much like the quintessential real estate package when you're receiving offers on market is going to be the signed offer, a proof of funds showing that you can actually do the thing, and then the written out check just showing like, hey, this is already written, let's go. If it's accepted, I'm going to be delivering it to you tomorrow, ASAP. And now we are completely executed, and this deal is secured and it's ours, and we have to abide by the terms that we have. It's just kind of a way. Do we like need it? No. Does it mean we have our shit together and we're looking good and we're serious? If we do, yes.
I'm looking to see if when I open my account, if they gave me any starter checks.
320 Dustin.
Huh.
But like, even if we don't have the picture of the check, not the big deal, right? The big deal is gonna be the proof of funds. Okay.
I got starter checks.
Nice.
Right,
The big deal is the proof of funds showing that you can actually do this, right? If we just send an offer that's a low ball offer, it doesn't have the check. The check isn't the big deal. The proof of funds is like this guy has the money or gets access to it, and we like his terms, even though like his price is low.
Now the trick would be to actually get the money in here in time. How long would it be before they deposited it, Mark?
They're probably going to deposit ASAP because it's going to go to the broker who has the listing. So they're probably going to put it in their own account, their brokerage account.
Yeah, I gotta put money in the account in order to support that.
But hang on. They're not gonna deposit your check unless they accept your offer. They're not just collecting checks and depositing it. They have to accept your offer, sign something, and then they'll deposit it. What, Mark?
No, my camera's like fuzzy. Yeah, sure, but also like be ready to get it done.
Yeah, that would be really awkward if that check bounced and they'd be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, it would.
But still, if you already have paperwork signed and it's just a little hiccup, it's a little hiccup. But I'm telling you, like, my favorite buyers are the buyers that are all over me. They send me. So the other thing too is I've taken offers that are $10,000 less because I know that these people are solid. They're going to follow through, that they're thorough, and they submitted things correctly. If you submit something to me and you have something that's like off or whatever, I'm like, this person is a moron. They don't know what they're doing. This is the beginning of the relationship and already they're dropping the ball. I don't want them. So having somebody super thorough, super buttoned up, and like it's a punch in the face, even though it's not the right, not their asking number, it's still a solid punch.
Right. Two things worry me. This being such a small town, right? 5,000 population. ARV. Don't get me wrong. Do I think it could maybe sell for over 400? Yes. Would I count on that? No. So like 350 to 400. 350, I think is super conservative, right?
Yep.
And then the other thing is the whole private remarks. I know that you went there and checked it out today, but regarding, so what does it say? Yeah, note disclosures and deeds. Property is believed to have had shared private well with abutting property and believed to have its own septic system. It has a shared driveway with the abutting property. Note below remarks regarding easements. Property could have its own private well and driveway, subject to buyer's own due diligence and verification.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it just depends on that. Like if it has a shared septic, that's not good. That's gonna severely affect the ARV.
Yeah, and the septic, it appears it's right in the front yard. Looking at where the pipe goes out compared to where it would be if it was shared with a neighbor.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Like appears to be and what actually is though could be two different things, right? So if we go in ballsy on this and we're like, yeah, 400K ARV and 100K renovations, and all of a sudden it's tied in with the bumfuck neighbor down the street who has hated this family for their entire lives, right? Like Hatfield McCoy, whatever it might be, right? Like you just never know those situations. And so then then begs the question, how do you handle that? How do you want to protect yourself against that? Do you want to protect yourself against that? I think the best offers that are going to get accepted are cash as is, quick close.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
But that's great. That gets us the deal. But does the deal get you to your result of what you're looking for, like net profit or whatever
Right.
you want as a result on this, right?
Right.
Shared well, I don't know. Like I would add in the cost of a septic and a well at the very least. Like if you don't
So,
have that baked into your numbers and we just think that the septic is in the front yard because of the pipes, like you could be in for a world of hurt.
yeah, I don't have a septic built into that, but I do have a well built into that.
What do you think what are you charging for that? I'm just curious for my own.
For the well,
Yeah.
about 20 grand.
Okay. And then 30 for like a septic.
I actually don't know what a septic would be these days. I used to have my septic installer's license, but that was like 20 years ago.
I'd say like absolute minimum 25 or like 30, and that's if it's gravity fed and you don't need a pump or whatever, and there isn't high water table and you're not building up a structure and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've never gotten actual pricing. That's just like conversations I've had with investors and people around.
Yeah, that is definitely not included in there.
And the only reason, and again, agents don't know stuff. Again, like most agents
Right.
don't know things, right? And they're just trying to cover their and their seller's ass. Property is believed to have had a shared well with the abutting property and is believed to have its own septic system. Believed, potentially.
Right. Yep.
I would put that in numbers.
Do you have to put that in numbers, or can you just put that in the offer and make the offer where it stands and then put in the additional remarks and said, according to the listing agreement, we are assuming that the property has its own septic.
What does that
And then-
matter? I'm saying he needs to put it in
Because
his
if you-
renovation
if
budget.
it-
If it doesn't have its own septic and he's not holding 30K for a renovation budget, he's budgeting 90, but he needs 120.
But I'm saying if you have that in a contract, I'm offering just for example, I'm offering 175. And then the special remarks you say, with the understanding that on the listing remarks, it stated that the septic was its own. If the septic ends up not being or like that you said, there's a functioning passing septic.
Yeah, I get that.
and
Like I have language like
then
we negotiate price or whatever, but like okay,
right, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I can write in whatever we want, right? But like then it comes in if somebody has the same exact offer that's as is cash, they're getting the deal.
Yeah.
And wouldn't that language be equal to having a septic inspection?
Right. So then it comes back to how much do you want to protect yourself, and do you want to secure the deal? Do you want to protect yourself? And then there's a fine line in between the middle. And then the people who win out are the people who are willing to throw all contingencies to the wind, right?
Right.
So I look at it like this: what are you comfortable losing with on your EMD? How ballsy are you on this that you know that this is a great school town, like school district, and people want to be there, right? Because then whatever you put for your EMD, I probably wouldn't go higher than 5,000. Maybe I would even do 1,000 or 2,000. Any offer I put in for wholesale, now this is not on market. On market is different because you have agents involved. They're like, it's a 5% deposit. You got to put that down, whatever. But like, I probably wouldn't put any more than 5,000, but you also have to be willing to lose it if you're going to waive your inspection contingency. Now, if you have an inspection contingency and then you can go through and you can get the septic inspected during that time, I think that's the safe route. I don't know if it necessarily get accepted, but it's the safe route. But also, I would still build the septic into your numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't leave the septic out of your construction numbers and then go and get it under contract. You can go and get it under contract and spend $1,000 for the home inspection and, put the money up so you don't have it for a few days and then have you find out that you need to add it to your numbers and then we can try to renegotiate and come back, whatever. That's one way to do it. But to my understanding, they had 20 something people viewing the property today between 3 and 4.
Yeah. Between 3 and 4, there were 20 cars there.
And there was another showing at 9 to 10.
Yeah.
So let's assume they had 20 to 40 people, right? 20 to 40 people probably going to be 3 to 10 offers. So these are all things that I think of, right? And I don't have the right answer for you. That's
Sure.
only like how much do you want to risk and what do you want to put on the line?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have 5,000 to put down. The most I could do would be 1,000
Okay.
for EMD.
I'm happy to write up whatever it is, right? I'm happy to write up whatever it is. That does not matter to me. I'm just trying to help express some of the mechanics and
Right.
like thought process when it comes to getting a deal signed.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, the Andover house that I had with my friend who did it the first time, we had like 22 people. We had a shit ton of people. And then on Monday, I was like, what's up with, am I getting any offers? And they're like, let's sit back and wait. And then we only got an offer because I was like, I want you to call everybody who came and ask them, are you submitting an offer? So I don't know. I hear him when he says, you know, like 20 people walk 3 to 4 offers. But at the same time, too, unless you have a great agent pushing for you, and keep in mind, if you're having this little hum and hawing that you're doing, I'm sure others are having something similar, right? But I'm also telling you that the person who has their foot in the door, you have a shot at bat. And so I
Right.
like the idea of having a price that you feel comfortable at, giving yourself an out with an inspection. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. If you know, and then having your EMD, because your EMD is not going to, you're not going to lose your EMD if you have an inspection period and you
Right.
cancel within time.
Right.
Obviously, that's not ideal for them. But the other thing that I'm thinking is if this is a multiple offer property, at some point, usually the agent goes back for highest and best. And so at that point, Mark pushed for it.
To the
Yeah.
top, like 3 or 4 offers, maybe. Like if we're offer 5, 6, 7, like usually, I'm not usually going back around to them.
For a rat infested property, probably not. I'm just saying.
For a house that just dropped 100K, that had a lot of people looking at it, that needs work, that's supposedly in a good school district. Yeah.
We don't know this town, so like
I don't. But if the town is what the town seems like it might be, and optics on that, I mean, there weren't 20 cars there for no reason for a 1 hour showing.
Right.
It doesn't generate that much interest if people don't like it or wouldn't do it, you know.
I feel like a lot of
Were there interior photos? I don't think there were. Maybe were there?
It's very, I'll say, barren. You know, the kitchen has, you know, just a couple countertops. They're not even cabinets. The bathroom had like a
All
24-inch
right.
vanity in there.
But it has photos in there. It has photos enough to the consumer. Then
Yeah.
when they scrolled through this, they're like, "Hey, honey, we could live with this," or like, "Hey, I'm a flipper and like I got this," right? Um,
to be honest, I don't know that flippers shop online at all. Like they should, but I don't know that they do. I think like the Asian flippers might know a couple things and be willing to, but I almost feel like I should probably be shopping online. I fucking don't.
I mean, if ARV is in the four, if as is properties are selling, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some as is that were selling in the 420, 430, but then there was that like 499 2018 new construction that sold at 499. So like, does that make me feel comfortable going to 450 for this renovation, even though it is a little bit, I mean, 1986? No, it doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not a 450 house.
okay. Um, yeah.
Scott, I say shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Give yourself an inspection period. They're probably I don't know how does New Hampshire do it? They do a like a is this an offer to purchase and then it's a PNS or
They
what?
go straight to a purchase and sale agreement. And you have to put it's like a standard New Hampshire template, like purchase and sale agreement. And you have to put on like whatever terms that you want or need. It has an outline for like inspection period and this and that. But
Yeah.
also like, all right, so those screenshots again, I'm not the best on when it comes to flip calculators. I am doing my first flip now, and I'm usually heavy-handed when it comes to like costs of things. So like, I forget what I had in there, but
Scott's not going to have that problem. He comes from a construction background. He used to be an inspector himself. He can do like everything by himself. He's
I,
amazing.
I get it, but like for all, I sent 4 different examples to our text message, right? I said if we get an ARV of 400, that's the high end, right? And then we buy it at the low end of like 150, that's an $88,000 profit, assuming the rest of my numbers are correct, which they might
Right.
kind of off or fudge. So that'd be great, you know. Then you all of a sudden you got to add a septic minus 30 grand. You're already at 50. Okay,
Yeah.
then we look at the second one. Hey, a 205,000 purchase price. That's the max of our side, and still a 400 ARV, which like hopefully it's that. If it's any lower, then the numbers will change. So at
Right.
that at the higher purchase price of 205 and a 400 ARV, your profit is 29,000. If you got to throw a $30,000 septic into it,
It's gone.
you're negative.
Yeah.
Um, so like yeah, sure, it doesn't matter, and he has construction experience, and that's great, but like if you're not actually like running the numbers of how much is this money going to cost you while you have it? Like what are all the origination fees? What is your selling fees in the background? If you're not looking into that and you got to do something like a septic, there goes all your money.
Right.
You know. So in the other example was a $375,000 ARV with a $150,000 purchase price. This is probably like the side of things I would love to be on, especially now as markets are shifting. There's 5,000 people population. Like if it's 375 ARV, 100K repairs and 150K purchase price, you're at 64,000 profit.
Yeah.
That's like a 20%. That would be good. Then minus 30 from that, like you're there, right?
Right.
That's not
Yeah.
bad. But then if you bump that up to the 205, if we escalate, towards that end, you're making $5,000 profit minus a $30,000 septic. You're in the whole
Right.
25 grand.
Right.
So this is why, like, I just am conservative.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that, and I will not be heartbroken if this doesn't work. It's about the numbers. It'd be great to have a project that's 5 minutes from my house. It's in a great town. I know it can make money, but if the numbers don't work, I don't want it.
I also don't want to be too conservative and lose you a deal because that's just my nature. I don't want to do that either. But I'd rather lose you a deal than put you in the wrong one.
Don't worry about it. I'd rather
My
that
offer on
too.
this would probably be like 1 to maybe 150. If I was wholesaling it, that's with a assignment fee baked in. That's with 120K in renovations to take into consideration your 90 plus the septic.
Right.
If it needs a septic.
Right. I'm pretty confident it doesn't, but I can't guarantee that. So.
Yeah, one thing I can do is ask the agent who the last company to pump it was, and call the company that pumped it and see if they have any details on it.
I could go to the town hall and just look at their records too.
Yeah. That's another way. You get the septic design, and then usually
Especially if you're
call it up.
close, yeah.
The challenge I have tomorrow is, and this is why I can't go tomorrow night, Sharky, is my wife's getting a Metaport tube installed, so, and then she goes for chemo on Friday.
Mark, his wife has stage 4 cancer. She's lovely.
Oh my gosh.
She came to Andover, and I got a chance to meet her. She's very headstrong. She has a plan for herself, that what she wants to do. She's gonna fight the shit out of it.
Yep.
And then Scott is just fucking wonderful. Like, great husband, great love story. They have kids together too, and just, he's so talented. He's so smart. But Scott, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, you need to shoot your shot. Shoot it where you need to shoot it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I also think it's important for you to get your reps in. If you really do want to be purchasing motherfucking properties, you need to be making offers on properties. Make it at the number that you feel comfortable at, period. And then Mark is super understanding about things, and he'll advise you. Obviously, I call him Mr. Broker. He's a little anal retentive, and he's very conservative, but there's great things about him as well. Also, he's one of the best wholesalers in the business. So if you want to be wherever that area is that you want to be, like today he was looking at a property over in Keene, like he'll go the distance on wholesale deals. Would you like to buy in Keene?
No, I did originally, but I know somebody who's there, and Keene's just going downhill from where it was years ago. The college is losing attendees, and without the college there, they're losing that income. They're getting a lot of, I don't want to call it like a sanctuary city, but the community action agency that's there, that they're taking on a lot of problem people, and that's spilling out into the population.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The areas that I am interested in, if I get anything close to home, the problem with this town is the taxes are high. That property, the taxes are actually $8,000 on it. Concord and Manchester would be, two of the bigger areas that I'd be interested in. Stuff around the Lakes region, a decent property. I know that's up in John's area. But Concord is close. It's a quote unquote city. I'd be interested in stuff in Concord.
How far away is Lake Winnipesaukee from you?
About 45 minutes.
Okay.
It's not bad. We're like an hour and a half from me. So.
He gets deals up there, but he gets deals because he's also shopping for deals up there, and he has friends up there. And then between like him and Stratton, and he knows people. Anyway, keep in touch, because I'm telling you, make the offer on the house at the price that you need to make it at. Again, it's good for you to get reps underneath your belt. It's good for you to be able to know Mark and him to know you're buying, so that when you're putting in offers, and then on top of it, get on his buyer list for things.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the reps. I need the reps. I need to go through the motions. I need to get it understood. I need to go out and look at these things and see what's out there and what's moving and what's not.
I will tell you this. I had a girl who was a brand new agent, and she was pushing me to buy properties. And I got to the point where I was like, fuck it, we're going to send it. Even if it's not going to land, even if I'm not going to get it. But the morning that I bought the Andover house, I had put in an offer, I think at like 9 o'clock in the morning or the day before, that I knew wasn't going to make it, but it was part about putting in reps that when
Yep.
it became time to put in an offer for Andover, I was like, this is nothing because I just did it.
Right.
So I'm telling you, like, it's important for you to do these things. So you need to fucking do it, and you
Yeah.
need to do it fast. You're going to do it safe because you're, Scott Falvey, and everything is like triple double checked with all these like, I forget what tag out, whatever the safety measures. You're going to put all the safety measures. He's super. Yeah, he'll give you all the outs on it. He's super safe. You're super safe, but don't let the super safe stop. Don't let the super safe stop you from actually doing the goddamn thing. Do the
Right.
goddamn thing. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And I gotta, when I first got into sub two too, I was down in Maryland and I was up in here. I need to just stay in one area. I need to, stay focused and concentrate there. And after I have experience, then I'll start looking at a different market.
Mm.
Unless something fell in my lap. But
I like it. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I'm happy to write it up. I think you should write it up. I think we should be conservative.
I like Sharkey's original idea of the 150 and then, going up to 172.5. I think that's a good area to be in. And, yeah, I like that. I like that to start.
Okay. So just circling back to group chat with other stuff that we need. 150K to 172.5. Escalation. Only $1,000 EMD.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Realistically, closing date for your current lender, if you were to do this on your own.
He says he can do it in 14 days, but I think if we do 3 weeks, that's safer.
Yeah.
Brings us to like the 12th or 13th.
Yeah, I think that aligns with what Backflip was saying too.
Yeah. Let's close on my birthday. Why not? Right. If I have any other questions, I'll let you know about work on this.
That sounds awesome. I appreciate all of your effort with this, Mark.
Yeah. Of
Um,
course.
I appreciate you, Sharkey, with your offer and willingness to help.
Yeah.
That stuff is what's going to send me off in the right direction. And once I get started, then I will be going.
Listen, I'm happy to put wind beneath your wings, but at the end of the day, you need to motherfucking flap, Scott.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you cannot be dependent upon me. You cannot be dependent upon anybody but yourself.
Yep.
But again, like I love and adore you. Like you're just so fucking cute, and he's so damn good. Like Mark, if you ever need to walk a property, like Scott is my favorite person. He was like talking to me about radon. Did I retain it? No. But what I did retain was that I love this man, and this man is like will explain things to me, and he's lovely and wonderful, and he's so knowledgeable and just like fucking it just so good. You think I explain things, Mark? Fucking he explains things. And then when you're walking a property, it's awesome.
That's
Awesome.
huge because like that's what I don't have. Like I don't have construction experience. Like I've never done a flip. I have tons of experience on running comps or trying to negotiate or sign sellers or assigning deals or whatever it is. But I think I'm pretty good at estimating a repair budget. I think.
No, he just puts 100,000 on everything. And then when it's really bad, it's 200,000. He's like, like 100,
Yeah,
300,
but I think
200.
I'd rather be heavy-handed and then have it go to profit, right? Like, let's do the deal. Let's do it.
I can't say I'm good at estimating numbers yet. I will get there, but I do know buildings. And Mark, if you've ever got anything up here that, you're looking at and you want a second set of eyes, I'll be happy to do it. I spent a day with Sean Sandville last year in Keene, and afterwards he said, you inspected the hell out of these things. He says, you're looking at stuff that I never would have even considered.
That's the wholesaler way, we just like
Yeah.
generalities.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, do you really want to know more? Sometimes you don't want to.
No, you do, especially if you want to be great at what you do. Mark is fabulous. So I don't know. I think I explained this to you. He went out. He's not wearing his hat right now, but Local Home Offers is his company. He went out on his own. I've been nagging him for like 2 years probably. I was like, get the fuck away from them, go do your own thing. And then things changed at the beginning of this year. He's been having a lot of success. So super, super happy for him. And I know he's very good at what he does to begin with, and he's only going to be better with the right people.
Yeah.
So I would love for you two to have a bromance. I would love for you two to, go do some fun things together.
So even to what you were saying earlier, Shark, I haven't done this as an investor. I grew up around it. Again, I know buildings. I know that I can do it. One of the challenges that I have is, I started my life in a family business and I started my life as being an entrepreneur. And when I started my home inspection business, I just did those things I had to do it. Then I went to work for the government. And, like Pesa said, it really is a different mindset. And that mindset is pretty well ingrained because I've been doing that for almost 20 years. And I am having a little bit of a challenge making that mindset switch back. But even your offer to say, hey, I will give you whatever you want, it's like all I needed was that confidence, to know that I've got that support there for me to be like, yeah, we can just go forward with this.
It's crazy. So when I started all this shit too, my mom was in real estate. She didn't want me to be in real estate. And the whole reason why I got into it because I was like her tech support for years.
Mm,
And for the longest time, I thought I needed her permission. And even though I knew I didn't fucking need it, I fucking wanted it. And
right.
until I got it, I don't think I actually like truly spread my wings. So it's so funny that you say that because you don't need it, but mentally you fucking do this stupid shit to yourself.
Right.
Yeah. But again, like I think you're fabulous. I know you to be fabulous. I want you to be successful. You deserve to be successful. It's just fun. It's just fun cheering somebody on like you.
Yeah.
I have no problem. I have no problem throwing what I can behind you. I'm happy to do that because I want to see you win.
Yeah. Super appreciate it. Can't
Yeah.
even express it.
Go ahead, try. It's okay. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
no, because I'll cry in front of you. So
I'm okay. Well, yeah, actually, yeah. Sometimes when I see men cry, I'm always like, "Oh my God, this is wrong."
I get very emotional because of my personal situation. So
Yeah, yeah. But I'm an emotional potato. I like that stuff. We're good. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Mark, I'm so sorry. We're over time and I didn't ask you shit about your life.
It's
My
okay.
bad. My
You're
bad.
good. You're good.
What do you want to tell me?
Just work and stuff. I'm sending out an assignment fee agreement right now. 127 was what I ended up getting for Keen.
Ooh, from who?
Jim,
Which one?
the one we kept running into.
Oh, good boy. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sending that out to Jeremy now with maybe some questionable language, but it makes sense to me, and this is me being flexible for them while also trying to push closing a little bit sooner. So
Mhm.
that should be good. So there'll be like a little 27K fee if we get the deal done.
You want to go with him and not the other one?
He got back to me. He was saying he was at 120 max. He's like, I've run the numbers like 3 times. I'm at 120. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
And then I
Okay.
talked to the other guy, and he was also at 120. I think they were in cahoots. I think they were. They must have been. And then I just was like, yeah, man, if you can give me 130, I'll sign with you tonight. And I was just upfront with him that I had another buyer that was at 130, but it was their first assignment. He was like, well, would you do 125? I was like, eh. He was like, how about 127? I was like, okay, I'll do it. Fine.
Tell him I say hi.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Whatever needs to happen for things to work, I'm happy to do.
Yeah, so that's happening. We got the listing signed for the short sale in Lynn that we're going to be doing.
Beautiful.
So that should be live tomorrow. I should have a signed agreement the next day.
Ruskindale.
Ruskindale, I got to go meet up with seller to sign paperwork for the bank stuff, which I probably should be reviewing that stuff more closely and see what actually is going on. Or he should, for sure he should. And
When are you thinking of signing him?
well, he's away. He's like out of town or something. I'm like, all right, when you're back, and he hasn't answered me. So
You should probably just go to the house anyway, because he's
it-
probably in his basement.
probably, yeah.
Out of town. I'm in the basement with bad cell service. Okay.
Yeah. So Westford, I'm waiting to hear back from sellers, feedback from siblings about failed septic, and I'm trying to reduce price by 30,000 because of the failed septic. And I scheduled an appointment for tomorrow morning. Well, I scheduled a new appointment. Devin was gonna go on that one for me, but the seller has not confirmed with me. But that's tomorrow at 11. Either him or George can go no matter what. So I might just send somebody at 11:30 because he'll be down the street.
Hmm.
Then I scheduled another appointment because if Devin was going to be going on that one, I scheduled one for tomorrow. I think it's in New Hampshire, actually. Hold on. Oh, this is in Wakefield. Yeah, Wakefield, New Hampshire. What does that do for you, Scott? Anything?
I'm not even sure what Wakefield is.
Me too.
Really? Near like
I've heard of it, but I
near
don't.
Tuftonboro, near like kind of Ossipee.
Okay. For me personally, not at this point.
Eye on the prize. Hopkinton. Hopkinton.
Hopkinton. There's a Hopkinton, Mass. too.
Yeah.
And Sharkey, I did speak to 2 contractors today, so.
Good.
And I reached out to a guy that I know that I've known for years in the energy efficiency industry. And last year we were talking about doing partnering on stuff. I called him today. He's going to call me back tomorrow. He can either be a financial and or resource person because he knows everybody in Concord.
Good.
So I'm reconnecting with him.
Listen, again, going back to Stratton, I think it's really important having good friends, period. I mean, at the end of the day, even this like creative elite, I consider you guys my friends and you encourage me, inspire me, like challenge me with what you're doing. Then I feel like a piece of shit. And then I'm like, oh, I got to do my own stuff. But like, I'm not joking. There was a point where I was like so devastated by the whole Z thing that I was like, I don't even know how to get over this. And it was at that time, like he was my best friend. And then it was at a time that I was like, you know what? He's not my only friend. And I had other people rally for me. And I was kind of a dick to where I like almost didn't appreciate them. I almost didn't value them. And then I pulled my head out of my ass. But having good friends, I mean, to me is everything. I mean, that guy who was like, oh, it's a relationship business. Bitch, life is a relationship business.
Right.
Like, you don't do this on your own, period.
Right. Yeah.
Being a good friend, having good friends matters a lot to me. That's why I do this.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. Yep. Cool. I will. I think I have your email, right? Yeah, I do. So
Yeah.
I'll send that over as soon
So
as
for
I get drafted.
copy of the check, just like take a picture of my phone and send it over.
Yep. Yeah. You can. Yeah, it should be written out to the broker. So Jerome Duval. So BHHS Vernai, Bedford. So that's who the check is going to go to because it's going to go into their brokerage account. I can text you
Okay.
that. I'll text you that now.
Tomorrow I'll be only somewhat unavailable. Text me and I can respond generally. I won't be in the surgery with my wife, but I'll be nearby. It just depends on what the reception's like. So
Okay. Absolutely. I'll definitely reach out. I will. And hopefully that goes as best as it can.
thank you. Fortunately, it should be fine. she's already been through one round of chemo, and the side effects were too significant for her to continue with it, so we have to change it.
She's a tough cookie.
She's having a really hard time with it.
Mm.
I mean, not she after day 4, her face totally broke out in acne, pimples and
Wow.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
from here, here, her chest, her back. She was dizzy. Um, I went down to Maryland 3 days after that chemo for one day, and she asked me if I can come back home without losing my job, and I said yes. And I found out she actually fell that day, and she what did she do? She fractured her foot.
Wow.
She got all of those things that were in her on her face. She got canker sores in her mouth and her throat. She couldn't swallow. Um, the side effects were just really,
It's
really
great.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're changing that up, and it'll be a new formula Friday. So yep, it's pretty tough stuff.
She's a trooper for sure. I can only imagine. Like, yeah.
On the flip side, she is one of my biggest challenges because she doesn't want me doing this stuff, and so she doesn't support it at all. That's also another part that makes it hard.
I know. I know.
But we do the right things, and
You gotta, at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you. Because again,
right,
like my mom didn't want me in real estate, and she's my favorite person on planet Earth. But it's something I had to do for me. The same way, like again, so you heard me earlier on this call. I had a coach tell me this for like 25,000. So here's my $25,000 gift.
right,
Whatever it is that you do in your life, everything you do is exactly what you should be doing.
right,
And whatever feedback that you're getting, however you feel about something, is just an opportunity to change what you're doing. But you have to be brave enough to change, and you have to not be so stupid to be like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. Bitch, that's feedback.
right,
Make a different choice if you don't like it.
right,
Obviously, you have some feedback from your wife. It doesn't support in that direction, but if you have enough gumption for it, if you have enough drive for it, then the answer is you want to walk in that even without that support. It's something that you have to do because at the end of the day, this is also your life as well.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it will be going forward, and it will be going forward without her. So
In that department. Yeah.
she's only got 1 to 2 years left.
Mm.
Any like bucket list stuff?
That's what we've been working on.
What does she have on it?
We've been doing traveling.
Okay.
So we've been to Paris twice. She went to Scotland.
Mhm.
We were in Dublin 2 months ago, and she's visited her uncle in Las Vegas twice since she's been diagnosed. This is a woman who hasn't been on an airplane in 30 years.
Going with the man who wanted his life to be a pilot. It's pretty ironic. It's
Our
cute.
one of our first dates, I took her up in our Cessna.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love that.
Wait a
And
minute. She was the one that you got from didn't you put an ad in the newspaper?
yep,
Yeah.
she's the one.
Back in the day, Mark.
Before dating apps.
She was number 2. I think you had like the first one didn't work out, and then she was the second one, and you're like, yep, we're done.
The first one I didn't even call back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. That was 30 years ago.
Mm.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I think of like, is anybody coming to visit her? Or she wants to be able to go and visit.
That's tough. She would like people to visit her, but she doesn't want people in the house. And she has a hard time traveling. because she's in a lot of pain.
Yeah. Okay.
But they keep chipping away at the list if she has stuff she wants to do, you know.
Yeah, that's what we're working on. We're hoping we can do another trip. So she was diagnosed 2 years ago in September. It was a week before her birthday. And so we're hoping that the chemo isn't debilitating and we can take the kids, in her words, we can take the kids for dinner in Scotland for her birthday.
That's a good dream.
Well, I mean, the biggest I haven't dealt with this personally, right? I mean, the biggest thing is mindset. It's about mindset. You got to kick its ass, right? I know 1 to 2 years and stuff from the doctors and chemo is not going to be good, right? But you just you still have to operate with the mindset like I'm going to kick this thing's ass, you know?
I couldn't
She's
agree
that
more.
she's that lady though. So I had like lunch or dinner with them. I had an opportunity to meet her. She's a tough cookie. She's one of those women that, like, you know, my style. She's the kind of woman I root for. I love that dream, but I'm also laughing because isn't Scotland the place that serves like haggis?
Yeah.
She wants to go to Scotland to eat that.
So when she was there, she found her absolute most favorite restaurant in the world, and all they do is serve mashed potato and meat. And
Okay.
Nice.
the place is called Mash, and they've got different mashed potatoes, but they've also got like 5 different meat choices. And so she got her mashed potatoes and she got her meat, and the meat, is cooked over however many days, and you just break it up with a fork, and it's
Mm.
everything she could want for a meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it would be fun. I'm not inviting myself to this, but I kind of want to go too. So, in the event that you guys are going family dinner and you just want to tell me, I will sit at another table, but I would kind of love to eat that. So, just
Yeah.
throwing it out there that if you're like, hey, we're going to have family dinner us, but in the event anybody else wants to join us, this place is great. My wife loves it. We're going to go for this. And if you want to be in the same room, get a reservation. But yeah, I
Yeah.
would, I would love to eat that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
Yeah.
When's the date? When's the date on that?
Her birthday is the 21st,
Mhm.
but flights are a little less expensive getting into October.
Mhm.
So it'll be somewhere between then and probably mid-October,
21st of July is her birthday?
September.
September. Okay. So October, you guys are heading out?
It'll be somewhere between her birthday and October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. That's a good birthday gift.
I think there couldn't be a better one.
Yeah. Good. You're a good husband, Scott.
I try. Thank you.
Let's make lots of money so we can blow it on the things that matter most.
My want for this is so that I just don't have to settle.
Mm,
I want to make enough money so I don't have to settle for anything.
mm. I like that.
Way to do it.
Good goal. Okay. Listen, I'm rooting for you. If it's appropriate, tell your wife, like, I'm cheering her on. Air high five all the way. She's my type of woman.
Yeah.
That's a woman I can get behind. So, and again, I want to see you win because you deserve to win. I think you're fabulous. I can't say enough good things about you. I just think, I don't think, I know you to be great. And I like you. That's it. So, Mark is also spectacular. I'm happy that you two have this man ramps, no, bromance, man ramps. Anyway, make
Just dating right now, but
make it sexy.
How it
Just
starts.
in the
How it
talking
starts.
phase, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
yeah.
No, I appreciate all the help and the support. The support is extremely important.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Happy to champion you. Happy to champion your wife. Happy to champion this bromance. I'll be here. And again, like, I'm happy to support you. I don't need to jump in and like wedge my fat ass in things that I don't belong in. So I know your style, which is like, I'm going to be fair, and I love being fair. But at the same time, too, I don't need to sit at a table that I shouldn't be at. I'm happy to serve that table if I can, because that'll probably give me more joy if that's the right position for me to be in. So I'm fine with staying in my lane. Don't worry about that. But again, like, I want to see you eat, and I want to see you eat well. So I'm happy to work towards that.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
All right. So the goal is you got stuff to do tomorrow with wifey. Hopefully you guys can get an offer in and just get, put your hat in the ring, and then we go from there. Baby steps forward. You don't need to know the entire staircase, but
Right.
do what you need, do what you're supposed to be doing, and take those steps forward.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here every single week. And at the end of the day, like I said before, it's just me and my friends that are actually doing deals. And the goal is to talk about what we've accomplished this past week, to share the highs and the lows of it, and to also state what we're going to do going forward. And that way we can be accountable, because time passes by so fast, as you
It
know.
does.
And if there's something that we can do to help out, then we're willing to do that. I use the Facebook group as like my Discord, essentially my group channel. So anytime you need something, ask for it there. Obviously, the contractor group is awesome too. You might want to rewrite the language. I know Mark was like, I like it, but like, there's a lot of like Spanish as a second language or English as a second language. They're not going to understand fire. They're going to be like, the fuck is this guy talking about? I can't even communicate with him. I'm not going to put my hat in the ring. But
Good call. Good call.
go back, edit it. You can see the way that I do it, where it's like needed now, GC, here's the scope of work. Here are pictures that I can put if you want to do that. But, and also don't be afraid to ask for prices. I find it cheaper to chunk things out and say, like, I need a plumber. I need that. I'm not going to do a GC, because a GC is just going to be like 50,000, 100,000, 160,000. And you're like, how the fuck did you pick that number out of your ass, right? Versus flooring, X amount of flooring, $3 a square foot, whatever, and that's your price. So I like to chunk mine out based on the ticket item, one ticket item at a time, and so that works for me. So you can copy me, don't copy me, but just try to keep it as simple as possible on a need to know basis. There are not strong English speakers there,
Sure.
so it makes it nicer to have more accessible that way. But yeah.
Sure.
If you need anything, you let me know.
I
Okay.
absolutely will. Yep.
Okay. Always good to see you, Scott Falvey. Mark Gullifer, I don't recognize you with your little baby face. Yeah.
Yep.
What is that about? You need a new headshot. You need a new headshot. I need a new headshot. They keep asking me for one, and I'm like, I don't have it. Just deal with it. Just deal with my face. But anyway. All right.
You have a good one. Don't worry about it.
I'll send you some pictures, and it'll make you think twice. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I don't know if my wife would like that. So
tell her they're for her. I sent them for her, not for you. Anyway, Scott, have a good night. Mark,
yeah, you
good
guys
night.
too.
Thank you for always
Thanks,
joining
guys.
me.
Night.